Who's ready for the Dirt Life Show?
Yeah. Welcome to episode 104 of the Dirt Life Show. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate you guys all hanging out. I know Monday nights at 5 o'clock is not the best start time. We wish we could do it at 5:30, but we don't want to keep the guys at 4 Wheel Parts to stay any later than they really have to. So we are here tonight with a fabulous guest to my immediate left, the winningest Razor 170 driver on the West Coast, Chase Mankin. What's up, dude?
Hey guys, hey YouTube. Not YouTube. Hey Facebook. Hey Instagram.
YouTube's all busted right now,
Yeah.
man. I don't know what's going on. These computers, they can't help us very much sometimes these days. And then to my far left, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Troy Adams from Troy Adams Coaching. What's up, man? How are you?
Good, man. I'm the man, the myth, the legend. Wow. You're like pumping me up.
Well,
between Chase and yourself, I feel like real important.
Hey, let's do it. Let's all be important tonight, right? Let's all give the fans what they want, right?
Let's get it.
But yeah, I do. I know a lot about you from Shelby Anderson. She uses your services for a lot of the kids that she helps and trains. So that's why I called you the man, the myth, the legend, because you're very well known in the industry. So we appreciate all your support, and we're going to talk a little bit more about how you help the kids like Chase here.
Cool.
So, this is episode 104, man. And Chase and I were actually talking about it before the show. We wished it could have been episode 101 to match his racing number.
That'd have been
that would
sick.
have been nice.
That would have been pretty cool. But next time I'll have to do that. I'll have to ask the kids what their racing number is first, right?
Yeah.
See if we can have the schedule match with their racing numbers. So I'm Georgie Hamill, and welcome to the Dirt Life Show. Today is coined by your mom, Macho Burrito Monday, because she brought a macho burrito, dude.
Yeah, it's like.
I mean, dude, that thing is as tall as you.
Yeah, almost.
You gotta get like 6 people just to make that thing, right?
Probably, yeah.
So we're gonna have a lot of fun with you guys tonight. We have some pretty epic guests that are calling in. We might even play Are You Smarter Than a Third Grader between Troy and Chase.
Oh, wow.
We'll see what happens with that. Troy, what do you think the kids are gonna do? They're gonna give you crap if you lose to Chase?
Yes, that is definitely. We don't like to lose, so.
All right, we'll play that. Maybe we'll give them some easy questions. You think we should go easy on Troy over
Probably,
here?
yeah.
I just need someone out there to have a phone to give me the answers.
A lifeline? Do
Yeah. Forget
you want
all.
to be a millionaire where you can call a friend?
I don't want to lose. I don't care how we do it. I just don't want to lose.
Get some support. And we have some fantastic guests calling in tonight. We have, obviously, Troy is sitting here with us. We have Nick Olson from Chupacabra Off-Road. He just got done with a really awesome Sand Sports Super Show. He had a bunch of success out there with this company. We have Chase Carr in the house.
Yep.
So I'm going to have to figure out how, when Chase comes up to sit with us after the commercial break, I'm going to have to figure out how to distinguish you guys together.
Yeah, that's going to be tough.
Because some of the audience, some of the audio listeners on iTunes may or may not be able to do it. So do either of you guys have a nickname?
Me, not really.
What do they call Chase Carr?
Squishy.
All right, we'll call him Squishy. How about that? So that way we can differentiate you guys in the audio version.
Okay.
That'll be cool. And then we have 10 times X Games gold medalist going to call in and talk to Chase. Ronnie Renner's going to call in and talk to you, buddy. How do you feel about that?
That's pretty exciting.
Have you ever met him before?
No, not in person.
He seems like a pretty rad dude, so it's going to be awesome for him to talk to you.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And maybe he'll give us some tips on how not to lose. We like winning, right?
Yeah, not how to lose it. Are you smarter than a third grader?
Ooh, he's already getting you fired up, here, Troy. So we have an awesome show planned for you guys tonight. Let's get through the sponsors real quick and how you guys can check out the show. So you can always check out the show on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram every Monday, just as long as technology is supporting us and helping us. And if you can't check it out on Mondays live, you can always go to iTunes or even in the archives and Spotify, all the audio networks, and check it out anytime you want. And we're also obviously available on Instagram and YouTube and all that stuff afterwards as well. We really appreciate that when you guys are interacting with us. So please jump on the show, hang out. Looks like the 4 Wheel Parts guys are joining us. We got Braden Baker on here, One Way Andrew. We got a bunch of people logging on. So comment in, ask questions to Chase. Even if you got a question for Troy, I mean, maybe you guys want to get out to his go-kart track and do some of the training and stuff like that with him. So that's actually going to be super cool that you guys can join us and hang out with us as well. And we have some fantastic people that help the show. You can always go on at the Dirt Life Show on social media. We've had a bunch of a bunch of people slide into our DMs lately, so please feel free to do that and help us improve the show. Tell us what you guys want to see, too. Thank you to the guys over at Motul for jumping on board. Those guys make some fantastic products. Dune season's coming up. Obviously, racing season is in full swing now. I mean, you got to probably be changing all the fluids and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Then we also use their premix, their Motul premix in the kart stuff. So no, that's a great brand.
One thing that I heard the other day, I don't know, I was scrolling through Instagram, and Brian Deegan said something that was like mind-blowing to me, and mind-blowing on the most simple level. He goes, the easiest way that you can get more horsepower for your kid on a dirt bike is to use a good chain lube. Mm-hmm. I mean, how simple is that, right? So it started getting me thinking. I was like, well, shoot, why not make sure that you're using all of the best stuff in anything that you drive? Yeah. So I'm glad the Moto guys jumped on board, because now I get to do that at the dunes. Maybe I'll make another extra horsepower on the dyno or something, right? Thank you to the guys over at Shock Therapy. They do some fantastic work. They're already booked up for the dune season, but you can always call them. You can use the code DIRTLIFE over at shocktherapyusa.com. Save yourself a whole bunch of money on any of their hard parts. You can save on their revalve kit, their ride improvement systems, all that stuff. So please go and support the guys over at Shock Therapy. They've been supporting us since day one, so thank you to Justin and his whole team over there. Thank you to the guys at KMC Wheels. I don't know if you guys can see it behind me, but we got some KMC Wheels down here. Another Wheel Pros brand fuel up there. KMC has come out with some new stuff that you can also get for your dune car since dune season is coming up. EFX tires, thank you to them as well. They're making Sandslinger paddle tires. They look super, super cool. The guys at Dune and Destroy just put some on their new cars. They're taking them out to the dunes on Halloween with us. So please support them as well. You can get to yourself a new set of paddle tires, too, if you need them. Zollinger Racing Products. Thank you to the guys over at Zollinger. They make amazing hard parts. Please go get any tie rods, any of their billet knuckles, that stuff. You can use the code THEDIRTLIFE at ZollingerRacingProducts.com. Save yourself a whole bunch of money. And thank you to the guys over at CryoHeat. Josh is doing some fantastic stuff. Have you seen CryoHeat stuff before?
No, I haven't.
It's pretty cool. They do metal treatment stuff. They micro polish and heat treat and all that stuff. They build Pro Mod transmissions for all the side by sides. I forgot what it is, but it's like anywhere between like 15 and 25% lighter, because they change all the gears and stuff, and all less rolling resistance. I mean, in those little cars, it makes a big difference in horsepower. So, and thank you to the guys over at Solderweld. You can use the code DIRTLIFE at solderweld.com and save a whole bunch of money over there too on an off-road repair kit. Or a welding blanket. And, man, you can repair your race or repair your ride. So thank you guys very, very much. Hey, look, Troy Adams Coaching just joined us, dude. You got a...
that must be the wifey.
Yeah. You got an assistant that's controlling the Instagram these days?
No, I got a boss. It's called the wife.
Right on, man. All right, so let's get into it, man. So we're going to really dig into your story a little bit after the commercial break, but I'd like to lay down a foundation and understand your racing program and the structure that... guys like Troy help you with. So do you go to Troy and you say, hey, you know what, Troy, I want to be the best driver I can possibly be. Can you help me? Like, what's the thought process behind something like that?
Oh, well, yeah, pretty much. Troy is a great coach. He helps you. He's a really good teacher. He can show you a lot of stuff about racing. He's experienced. He can tell you how to get faster in the corner. He'll definitely push you to your limits, and he'll teach you that racing is definitely just not about your condition inside the race car. You've got to stay active outside the race car as well.
Yeah, and that's a true statement. And when a young man like you're 12 years old now, right?
Well, yeah, I'm turning 13 in November. So
going on when's your birthday in November?
November 16th.
Oh, dude, I'm 2 days ahead of you, man. I was hoping you were going to say the 14th. We're going to be the same. But when a young driver, 12 years old, comes to you, Troy, and I know you have younger people too as well, but what is the usual process that you go through?
Well, the first thing we do is try to figure out what their base is and the ultimate goal, right? For Chase, actually Brian called and said, hey, we need to get a stronger foundation, and we want to figure this out. And it's all started really with Shelby Anderson. You brought her up.
Yep.
She was one of the first, Ronnie Anderson, and then from there it kind of just grew. But the biggest thing we find from a lot of our athletes that race in the desert and short course, but primarily desert, is there's a lot of variables. And so we try to, work on their focus. With Chase and some of the other ones, it's literally that. We start them off on an oval track on a go-kart, get their speed up a little bit, see what their conditioning is. So as soon as they get off the go-kart, they have to go in, they do push-ups, sit-ups, blaze pods, different jump ropes, things like that, put them right back in the go-kart.
Yeah.
So it's trying to figure all that out.
So, yeah, and that's kind of why I wanted to understand we have a couple videos that we're going to show of you helping some of the kids and having some fun with them. But the basis of it is understanding the person first,
Correct.
right? Whether it's a young athlete, an older person, a middle-aged, whoever it is, you have to know how they need to be tuned up, so to speak.
Yeah. And a lot of it too, right, is the parent living through the driver? Is it something that they really want to do? Is it something more than the parents want to do? So once we get through the first, I would say 2 or 3 sessions, and they do push-ups, do sit-ups, do things that they didn't think they were going to have to do, and they realize that I'm not here just to pamper them, but it's to really get after it and figure out how we're going to win, then I understand whether or not it's a person like Chase who really wants to win, wants to get better, or it's someone that's doing it for their parents and they're not coming back.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris and Matlock, how are you doing? So, Chase, what did you think the first day you showed up? Were you like, sweet, this is like going to be a game changer for me? Or were you like, oh, crap, I'm scared?
I was scared because
Were you?
I've never done any go-karting. I may have been out to the track once or twice, but go-karting helps out a lot because it teaches you to smooth out everything.
Yep, finesse.
Yeah, it helps you out a lot, and I did not expect to come there and start whipping out 20, 30 push-ups. I was expecting to be in the car or the go-kart a bunch.
What do you usually talk with your friends about it? Is it like a boot camp in your guys' mind, or is it like a recess in your guys' mind? How do you guys consider Troy's schooling?
I would say that it's pretty much like it's a school. You do the actual karting, which is a mixture. It's almost like a break, but it's you're still learning and training.
Right.
And then you go out and you do the conditioning.
Yep.
And then you come back to the go-karting. So it's a mixture of both. So
it's probably pretty cool. Caden McCachran, how are you, buddy? Yeah, so to me, I wish that I had that when I was a little kid, right? We never had that. We were just in the dirt messing around. That's about as much training as we got. And to our, I don't know, benefit or whatever, to our prowess, we didn't stop. We were exercising all day, right? No matter what happened. And times have changed, and now things are much more focused, and things are much more scheduled, and different things like that. And so something like what Troy offers is really nice because you can go to school, get all your work done, and then go let loose on the track, and then get to all exercising and training, right?
Yeah, so that's pretty much what it is. So, yep, get off of school, come here, basically come into a completely new school.
Yep.
And then do the conditioning part of it.
What's the mental focus that you have to keep, or the mental preparation that you have to keep to be able to go and, I don't know, when you get home from school, you're tired, you had a bad day or something, you're like, dude, now I got to go to Troy's. How do you just push through it and go get all that stuff done? Or is it yes, I get to go to, get in the cart?
Yeah, I love driving in general. So, if I did have a bad day at school and we're going out to go-kart or go out to Lake Olson or something to just practice in general, then I'm yes, we get to go practice, and then that lifts your head up, back up, but you should still be just keeping your head up.
Yeah, 100%. Is that something that Troy teaches you?
Yeah. You just don't want to keep your head down. That's what my dad always tells me. If you do have a rough day, you want to pick your head right back up.
Yeah, 100%. I think Troy can agree with that.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, we're blessed, right? A lot of times our bad day is better than most people's, our bad days are better than most people's good days. And I always
100%.
try to remind the students that and all our athletes that.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Keep your mic close. Yeah. So when the kids come to the schools, I'm sure you have to deal with everything under the sun, right? The kid had a bad day, got a bad report card, whatever it is, all the way up into the kids jumping off the walls because he's so excited, right? When they come to the schools, how do you manage all of that, and how do you manage their expectations? Because, well, let me actually reverse this question a little bit. I would think that let's just say you have 10 kids in the bunch.
Okay.
Every single one of them wants to be champion, right?
Yep.
So how do you manage that?
Very easily. It's very easy. At the end of the day, every kid to me is pure what adults we are the ones who, to me, mess up kids. So
yeah.
So at the end of the day, the first thing I ask them is, who's the best?
Yep.
You would.
Who's the best?
Me.
You?
Yeah.
Are you better than Caden?
Yep.
Are you better than Chase Carr?
Yep.
Are you better than Truly?
Yep.
There you go.
It's very simple.
Yeah.
Mentally, first, we work on their mental aspect.
100%.
Now that he says he's the best, now he's got to prove it.
Yeah.
And so the proof comes with how hard we're going to work. At the end of the day, there's someone out there in this world that's working harder than Chase, working harder than Caden, Truly, whoever it is. So ultimately, we try to figure out how hard do they want to work at it. Yep. That's the push-ups, that's the school, that's every aspect of their game. It's not just about being in the car.
Yeah, 100%. And just so everybody knows, in the audio version when it comes out, Truly is your son.
Yes.
Yes. And same age bracket, right?
Truly's 10.
I'm 12.
He's
So
12.
A little bit.
So, yeah. But everybody's pretty close, right?
Yeah.
That's a fantastic, simplistic way to look at things, right? And when I grew up as a kid, we didn't have very many friends. We grew up way out in the country, in the desert. Like, we didn't have paved roads, none of that stuff. In fact, that's why it's called the dirt life, because we genuinely all live the dirt life, right? We didn't have anything. All we had was bicycles and shovels, you know, and that's how we built our life, and we understood what hard work was. And anytime any of us would get together, we always thought that same thing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we didn't have a coach to show us the specifics and the really good stuff that you do, but we would all do the same thing. I'm going to beat you. I'm going to beat you. You're going to beat me. And everybody had a good day and everybody had a bad day. So I love that simplistic method, and it probably goes good and helps you guys too, right, Chase?
Oh, yeah.
How do you feel competing against all your friends on a daily basis? How often do they go?
What I feel like is my dad always tells me you can be friends. You're friends off the track. You're friends all the time, but once you step onto that racetrack, your goal is to win. So
yeah, 100%, right? And you'll learn sooner or later. Like, that's the job, right? Like, no matter what, you do your job right. Like, you always go out there to win.
Oh yeah,
be the best.
Yeah, that's kind of what you got to have, that mentality of I'm gonna go win this. If you tell yourself, oh, so and so is gonna beat me, then you're not gonna be as confident, and you're not gonna go out there as willing to win. So you gotta
exactly. Yeah, then why are your parents spending money for you to go to the track,
exactly,
right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So when I guess there's a two-part question. So when the kids leave and you see the progress, Troy, like, I want you to think of that the same answer though too. Like, the last time you left his coaching and then you went out to the racetrack, like, what was the difference? And then when you see them leave the track and you're like, okay, now I got to pay attention to their next race to make sure that they actually listened. Like, how does it translate?
For me, it's everything for us is really simplistic. And so, a lot of times they'll go out to the next race, and I'll usually get a text back from them. I'll look at their social media and find out how they're doing. But it's almost a direct relation.
Got it.
And so, when it's been a little while since Chase, when we've worked out, right? A little bit. So a lot of times he came off and he started going extremely good. When he has some weaknesses or they're struggling right now, getting ready to go up in class, then they'll come in for a refresher. There's some of the individuals who come in all the time.
Right.
But the biggest thing I would say is that I'm always kind of in touch or have a pulse on a lot of my athletes throughout the year.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's just, for me, it's almost like they're my kids. And so I tell the parents all the time, you bring them in one piece, my job is to get them back to you in one piece. But once we have a relationship, it just is ongoing all the way up through.
Yeah. And I know you still have relationships with some of the guys that have worked 10 years and 15, 20 years down the line. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty cool to see that. I know Shelby Anderson talks very highly of you. I know Ronnie Anderson. And did RJ go through your school as well? Or not?
RJ was not really through the school, but he raced with me.
Got it.
He and his dad, Randy, had raced there. But then RJ was looking at doing some other things, and we have relationships with NASCAR and some of those individuals. But it goes all the way back to, like, Riley Herbst when he was in mod carts back in the off-road road days.
God, that's got to feel so good, man, when you see your athletes succeed and just take everything that you've taught them and move up through the ranks, right?
Yeah. No, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it really is.
100%. And then so, like I was saying before, after the last time you get out of Troy's coaching and you go to the races, are you like, dude, and you come off the track, you're like, I used 100% of what he taught me. I used 80% of it. Like, it was so cool. I knew exactly what I was doing.
Yeah, a lot of the times before these big races, we'll head out to Coach Troy's camp, and we'll train. So, for an example, the Mint 400 last year, I started second row, had to dig through the first row with my fellow competitor, George Lamoses, who just got the whole shot from first row and kind of checked out, while I had to pass all of first row, and we managed, about halfway through the race, there was like a 20-second gap between us, and my dad came on the radio telling me that I needed to smooth out my corners and that I was chopping them. So I just started to smooth out my corners and started chopping off seconds like crazy. Before you know it, 2 laps to go, I'm neck and neck with him, or like 2 or 3 seconds ahead.
So you know what the best thing that I heard about that whole situation is? First of all, that racing prowess and your guys' racecraft is fantastic. I know what he was thinking and what you were thinking, and meshing like that is phenomenal. But your dad wasn't the total mini dad. Go, 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 go faster. Stop doing that. Like, he actually gave you a constructive point to work on, and you were able to attack that and finish it off.
Well, that's to talk on that point. Every big camp that we usually have Ronnie, another gentleman, Cole Keats, to come in.
Yeah, both fantastic guys.
Yep, and come in and talk to the parents.
Yep.
The one thing that most racers will say they hate is for a parent to tell them to go, go, go. It's almost like, what the heck am I doing? I'm not going fast enough? You don't think I'm trying to go faster?
Absolutely.
Okay, tell me how to go faster. And so we try to work with the parents to give them the tool in order to go faster. In that case was smooth it out. And so we give them different languages that they can help instead of trying to push them hard and demoralize them, but lift them up and say, okay, do X, Y, Z, and our time will drop.
Yeah, exactly. It takes a special person to realize that, too. So you got to give a little bit of credit to your dad, Brian, as well, because he was obviously seeing certain things that other drivers are doing better or worse than you, and he was guiding you in that direction. It's really cool to be able to understand that and look at that from a different perspective, like what you're telling us and the audience here is. I couldn't tell you how many times I've gone to the track and I see a parent yelling at a driver or a kid, whatever it is. And that kid ends up, we just talked about it on 2 shows ago with the Burchards. Never throw your helmet. Well, when you get somebody that's telling you to go, 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 that's what it ends up happening. Is you don't have success, you get frustrated out of your whole situation, and then you go back and you throw your helmet or something. So I'm really pleased that you guys are working on it that way. That's a really positive for me to hear.
Well, yeah, that's what happened, because you have these spotters telling these 7 or 8-year-old kids that just got into 170 or something for the very first time. They're thinking they're going very fast, while their dad's yelling on the radio, go, go, go. And it'd be like them getting into a fighter jet. They have no clue how to steer.
Yeah, and they don't have any judgment of the speed they're going. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, they have no clue like what it is. So it's very hard for people like that, because that just gets the young kid frustrated. And when you're frustrated, you're not as calm, and that just makes mistakes happen after mistakes.
That brings up a really good point. So thanks for giving me that topic to talk about then. So how do you stay calm, or how does Troy teach you guys to stay calm?
One thing I do, I mountain bike and stuff, and even when I'm doing that, when I'm racing, I hum a song in my head.
Really?
Yeah, I do that when I'm mountain biking. When I'm mountain biking with my mom or something, where she's like, How are you humming while we're doing this? And I'm just doing that to keep my mind focused and relaxed.
I kind of want your mom to be up here so I could ask her what song you hum. What song do you hum, dude? Does it depend on whatever you're like listening to at the time?
Yeah, it's just pretty much
what kind of music are you into?
Pop, just that kind of stuff. So
right on.
Yeah, we've just like when we go mountain biking or in practice or stuff, I'm just humming, trying to keep my mind focused and relaxed. So, yeah, we're doing that. And she's like, how do you have enough breath to do all this? But doing that, I feel like keeps me calmer to make me like, because one thing you want to do, you make because some kids will go out there, they won't breathe for 2 minutes on the racetrack.
That's this guy right here.
Yeah, it's so every once in a while my dad will come on the radio and like if I'm far back or something, and he'll tell me
Take
relax.
a couple deep breaths.
Yeah, take a couple deep breaths, relax, and just keep going.
It's crazy that you say all that stuff because those are all, first of all, way more mature to know that than your age. Like, that's awesome that you're learning that and that Troy's teaching you those things. But it kind of goes back to what we were talking about before, Troy, about every kid has their own little thing that they do, right? I don't think Caden hums when he drives, but Chase does.
Yeah, I feel like I don't really feel...
You're unique?
Yeah. Off the starting line, too. My mom will play some songs. I'll listen to them.
We actually have a funny video that I would like to play
you wanna
about
show that?
about
Okay.
what your mom does at the beginning of the races. Yeah. So we'll talk about it a little bit. Or actually, maybe you could tell us what she's doing here. We'll put it on the screen right here. Oh, we got this crappy audio again, but it looks like your mom's dancing in front of your razor.
Yeah, we do this almost every single race to get me fired up, and my mom will start dancing
It's
in
pretty
front of my
funny,
car.
right? How does that make you feel? Are you just like, oh my gosh, what's she doing?
Yeah, sometimes I'm like, oh my god. Other times I'm like, fine, just
You know
do
what the cool thing about it is, though, is it kind of takes your mind off it and puts your mind at ease.
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
When you see all those things and hear things like what Chase is talking about right now, Troy, what do you think?
No, I think that's cool. You know, everybody has their own thing of trying to get into the zone, but more importantly is when you're on the track, it is to be able to relax, to breathe, to think. You know, I always tell majority of the drivers, especially as they get to be elite, right? Everybody's fast.
Right.
Everybody's fast. When you get to be the top 3, top 5 drivers, you're fast. But who wins is the one that's the smartest. And if you're smart, you're able to be able to relax, look at what they're doing in front of you, making mistakes. Or if you're out front, can we pace ourselves? Are we hitting our marks? Are our eyes up? Are we able to breathe? So, you know, at a young age, that's what we really try to focus on is the foundation.
Yeah, instill the racecraft so that they can live that long professional career with that racecraft in mind.
Well, and that's one of the things. I was just talking to Casey Curry, and he's like, man, a lot of the things that you teach are so basic, but it's stuff that I never really thought about. And our biggest thing is if the foundation of a building is strong, during an earthquake, it will not crack.
Right.
It will not crumble.
Yep.
And so we really, with them being that young, right, it's being able to teach it and have that strong foundation so as they go up in their career, they're secure.
100%. I couldn't agree more with that. Dirt Exhibition actually commented and said, does anyone else hum Motley Crue, Kickstart Your Heart?
I've heard of that song. I've never hummed it though.
It's probably a little bit past your age demographic, but that is a funny one, though. I always used to listen to a little bit of music as well before I went out there. It usually calmed me down, right? Or it kind of gets the blood flowing a little bit. You know, a lot of these supercross and motocross guys, they do a little bit of cardio right before they go out. Do you guys do any of that kind of stuff?
Before the races, we might do some jumping jack and stuff to get the blood flowing, but not like Supercross. I see them doing like bicycles and stuff right before.
Yeah,
Brian does that a lot.
Does he?
Yeah, Brian Deegan does that a lot. Yeah, he'll run or he'll do ropes.
Yeah, and for the older guys, I mean, it clearly helps a lot more than the young kids because they don't necessarily need.
Saying Brian's young? Saying Brian's old? I'm just kidding.
We're the same age, so I'm saying I'm old too.
I got you guys by a few years.
So let's see here. I want to put on a couple videos that are of you,
right.
Troy. Hopefully we don't get this crappy audio, but let's see if we do here. What are you doing here with the kids?
That's actually truly we're doing blaze pods.
Blaze pods?
Yeah. So
and then this is having a little bit of fun boxing with a kid.
You know, but that right there is even boxing with a kid, right? That young kid, he's 5 years old, and he's actually one of our fastest athletes of the kid kart class from 5 to 7 years old.
Really?
And so what's crazy is I used to tell Troy Herbst when Riley was thin, he was one of those kids that we had money, we had all the toys, but he had no discipline and he had no fight.
Yep.
And I used to do the same thing with Riley Herbst. And I said, Troy, when he starts fighting me back, we'll start winning races.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't do it. All of a sudden, he started fighting back. We started running to the front. He started hitting harder. We started winning races. Why? Because he had fight.
Yeah.
Out on the racetrack, there's always a fight. And sometimes we want to protect our kids and protect them so much that they don't know how to fight.
Yeah.
Right? They don't know how to push that envelope. They don't know if this guy swings at me, oh, he hit me, and we want to go home and complain to the parents, and the parents complain to the officials.
Yeah.
No, it's a fight.
Right.
So, yes, I have fun with them, but everything's a challenge in our program. The Blaze Pods is something that helps with strength and conditioning, as well as reaction time, which that particular thing is hard to do.
Yeah, it's really cool to see that. I know that they use that a lot in F1. You know, the different F1 teams use that a lot, and they actually do it right before they go out sometimes, just to get their mental capacity going a little bit faster. So a couple things that I'm noticing, and not to take the subject away, but when I was racing professional short course in the side-by-side class, a lot of my fight came from wanting to show people that you didn't have to be 100% able-bodied to be able to go as fast as everybody else is. My mindset was never like anything was wrong with me.
Yeah.
It was just that I needed a little bit different tuning to be able to go as fast as all of the other professional drivers. And finally, it took about a year or so, maybe 6 months before I got that confidence, just like you're talking about, that I was able to fight. Like, I was like, yes, I can fight with these guys. Like, I'm ready now. Like, before, when I first started, I was like, nah, I'm going to get my butt kicked if I start fighting with these guys. And finally, I did get the confidence as well. But my motivation was just a little different. So it's probably like you got to find motivation in Chase. And
that's the same thing, right? With Chase, especially when they come from off-road into karting, some of the asphalt stuff, their mentality is, I can't be as fast as your pavement guys.
Right.
And I'm like, well, you're coming into their world. You're coming into our house.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be as fast, but you are.
Yeah.
Just do, 1 + 1 is 2. It never changes. I always ask them that. So just do 1 + 1. We get 2. Okay, I mean, we do the same thing. All the kids that have been with me, they know I always say that. 1 + 1 is 2.
Yep.
If you do these basic things, you'll be as fast, right? So a lot of times they'll come in and we try to just get the foundation strong, and then take those tools, and when we go to the dirt, pull whatever tool you need out and utilize it at that specific time. When you use it at that specific time,
just like you said,
money.
It's a simplistic way of looking at things. Hi, Patty and Chris Blaze. What's up, Cody? Jeffrey Windsor also on. When he gives you that advice and like those simplistic approaches, how does it feel? Is it really easily absorbed, and are you able to just like attack the course a little bit better?
Well, yeah, it definitely helps because no matter what, you're still driving's driving. If it's on dirt and street, it's just a different way of doing it.
Right.
Like on street, it's a lot. Like on dirt, it's the track changes a lot. On street, it's usually about the same thing. So, but it's still a track. It's still racing. It's 1 + 1. It's the same thing.
Boom. He's learning, right, Troy?
Yeah.
Well, I agree, because in dirt racing, a lot of times you have to change. In kart racing, a lot of times, you have to change for the track. And a lot of times in kart racing, you have to change for you to smooth out and to do these things. So it's just a different way. Like what Troy's saying is you just have to pull out the right tool for the situation, correct?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. And have you noticed that it's helped you quite a bit?
Well, yeah, for apexing is one thing we work on. It's how to do a corner. It's braking. It's from outside, inside, outside.
Well, take us through a normal corner. Let's just say we're going around a 180 corner.
A 180
on dirt.
On dirt.
Yeah,
okay.
Maybe explain it to some of our audience that is doesn't know about like sliding a car as hard as you guys do.
Well, there would be. Kind of depends what car you're driving. If say you're in a 170, you would probably want an apex. But say you're in like an RS1, an apex would also be fast. But another fast way would just be to drift through the corner, because with the 4-wheel drive and a lot of power, you can learn to throw the car in.
Yep.
That's what you can work on. We've been going out to Glen Helen a lot to get back into the cars since I broke my arm. So we've been practicing trying to get the car thrown in, and then an apex is just outside, inside, outside. A late apex would just be doing that, so outside cutting into the last part of the inside part of the corner and then floating right back out to the outside.
Sounds like you know your corners pretty good, man.
Yeah, we've been working on this for a while, and I feel like I'm a pretty smooth driver, but there's always room for improvement.
Yeah, and when you put 10 other guys in the same corner as you, it changes, right?
Exactly. When a perfect corner, that'd be a perfect corner, but when you start throwing people in, you've got to modify it because maybe there's someone blocking the inside so you can't do an apex. Maybe there's someone on the outside already trying to do an apex. So you kind of got to adapt to the conditions of the track.
Man, that's good that you're learning all that stuff, and I'm sure Troy is teaching you that stuff when you guys go on the go-kart track as well, right?
Oh yeah, he teaches me a lot of this. Before I went to him, I didn't know what an apex is. That's when me and my dad, before the race, we were drawing lines in the sand to show me how to do a corner.
There you go. Quintero Racing says, our team driver, Seth, raced with Chase at K1 Speed, which is the little go-kart track. I think it's a little electric go-kart track.
Yeah.
And said Chase was fast.
Yeah, there it's the same thing. It's just tighter, I feel like. Electrics, gas, same thing. It's just trying to be smooth, trying to be fast at the same time.
Yeah, and I've never, ever been up to the level of Troy, but I got to teach a driving school at Bondurant one time. And that was a totally different level and animal for me because it was on pavement.
Yeah.
And I was able to teach older people and younger people. And it was a really cool thing for me to do because a lot of them were fresh and they didn't really understand. I mean, some of them didn't even know how to stop at a stoplight kind of thing compared to what they were experiencing out on the track. And it was really cool to see at the end of the day how much people grew. And then adversely, I went to a dirt circle track, and I was able to teach some people how to drive their side-by-sides and do those things like apexing and smooth throttle control. And it's a totally different animal when you're out there. And to see the progress that those people made by the end of the day compared to what they were at the beginning of the day, and to see the smile on their face was pretty amazing. So I can only imagine what Troy and the fulfillment that he gets from seeing you guys succeed.
Yeah, I mean, and that's all of it, right? When you're racing, there's only one winner.
Yep.
So you have a whole bunch of mad people and you got one guy that's happy. Through a school, as long as they're learning skill sets, and yes, we're competing at blaze pods or we're competing at ropes, but the bottom line is how much did you learn from that particular session? How good did you get? How much stronger did you get?
Yep.
And so majority of the times, unless I've made a few kids cry, they all left pretty happy. But, I mean, I will say we have a few kids that cry. So
yeah,
that's part of the deal.
Sometimes it's tough love, right? I mean, it's just the way it goes.
That's just part of the deal.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one thing I tell everybody. I don't sugarcoat it. You bringing the kids in, your goal is to get them better.
Yep.
And it's kind of like football. At the end of the day, we have to kind of get in the trenches and get dirty. But through all of it, through all that fire and everything else, at the end, we'll have a pretty precious jewel.
It sounds like you really enjoy that method, though.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun learning how to experience this, and once you get to do it, because it's pretty much it's more fun to win than to lose.
You think?
You think? Yeah.
So, but putting in that work, it's fun, and then that gets you faster and faster.
When you leave, though, do you have that feeling of I don't know, awareness and like a higher level of feeling than you did when you before you went to the school? Because I know that every time you get on the podium, right, you have like, wow, I just did good, but what can I do better next time? I feel like I would leave the Troy Adams coaching with that same kind of mentality. I did well, but I can still do better. Let's see how I do at the track.
Yeah, exactly. Going to Troy Adams helps just to give you confidence like that. It helps just getting on the track, and then you can learn what I need to get better at, what I'm doing pretty good at, but I still need to perfect, and it's just learning.
Yeah, 100%. Well, just me sitting here talking to both of you guys, I'm getting fired. I feel like I'm at a Tony Robbins Pump You Up festival or whatever they call them, because it really gets me excited to understand that you guys are putting, Troy, first of all, you and the kids and Chase, in your racing program, that much effort and that much critical thinking, because I've said this a million times. I've hated school my whole life. Hated it. But I went to school. I got straight A's. I graduated in 2.5 years for my computer science degree. I went to school 11 hours a day because I hated it so much. And I wanted to get out there and start making the moves and doing what I wanted to do because I had the same mentality as what Troy is teaching you and what you're learning from Troy. Because all I want to do is go out there and win. That's it. So when I hear you guys talk like this, I just get fired up.
Yeah. Well, yeah, school. It's kind of that same thing. You got to push through, but you know there's gonna be an end, and once you get to the end, it's gonna be blue skies from there.
You do have to get a job or make this a professional racing career,
Yeah.
start making money for those blue skies, right?
Yep.
That is cool, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later in the show. Actually, you know what? Let's just talk about it now. Like, what are some of the goals that you're learning? Because, and how do you put the stuff that Troy is teaching you now into those goals? Like, where do you want to be in 10 years from now?
In 10 years, I'll be 22. So from there, I like to race. So, if I get invited to like maybe Dirt Fish, or if I get invited from Red Bull to Dakar, I feel like that'd be awesome and an awesome thing to do.
It would be pretty cool. You got to start making friends with Seth Quintero a little bit more, bringing him some
Yeah.
Poke Nachos down there.
Yeah, I really look up to what he's doing.
Yeah. He's doing a fantastic job. So how do you implement the things that Troy is teaching you now to get to that point?
Well, you've just gotta, it's the learning curve. You've gotta learn how to go faster. And one thing, you've just gotta learn to express yourself. You can't you have to let yourself out. You can't be stuck in a bubble. You have to try new things and do stuff like that.
I agree 100%. And when you hear him say that he's got those lofty goals, Troy, what do you think?
No, I think that's part of our program. Unfortunately, because of COVID and everything else, Chase and them weren't able to come to the last camp. We actually made it a little smaller and cut down the numbers. But that's one of the things that we work on with our athletes is learning how to do B2B, right?
Yep.
Business-to-business relationships, and how do we grow those sponsorship in those relationships in order to drive revenue for companies in order to fund our racing program. And so that's one of the things as our older drivers, especially Ronnie and Cole, come back and they actually teach that class for us.
Nice.
Because they've done a phenomenal job. As we know, RJ and Ronnie, again, their sponsorship was gone from one sponsor, and then all of a sudden they come on the scene with NOS.
Right, rebuild.
Right? It's because of that. So, he's got a great career ahead of him. He's doing good on the track, and now what are the other tools that he needs in order to make this a true living, right? And so that's, I think that's awesome. And one of the things that we need to work on is not about if, but when Red Bull calls me at 20 years old, this is what I can do for them, and this is how we can grow their program.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. When you have those lofty goals and you eat the elephant one bite or eat the monster burrito one bite at a time, you can finish it at some point, right?
Yep.
At 12 years old, I didn't have any of that same outlook and ambition because I was just living in the dirt. So I'm so excited to hear that, man. Like, it is really cool to see that you have that mentality, the racecraft, and everything going for you. I mean, you've already won so many championships in a 170, and you're going to just keep going and going, dude.
Yeah, that's what I kind of plan to do because I'm going to be moving out of the 170 this year into the bigger cars. So it's just gotta do it in those cars too. So.
With how mature you're talking so far, I thought you were going to say, I'm just going to be moving out on my own in just a couple years. We're good to go. Like, I can start living my life.
Oh,
yeah. It's pretty cool. What are some of the things that you've seen from young Chase here when he's doing the coaching with you that stands out, Troy?
Really just a lot of it comes after the fact, right? So when when I'm coaching at the track, we're working on certain skill sets to improve them. But it's pretty awesome for him to sit here and talk about kind of the apex and what he's learned from that aspect and putting those into his driving. The simple things of breathing, the simple things of relaxing, what they took away from Brian not being a dad of saying, go, go, go. But, hey, I see that we're kind of screwed up right now. Just relax, breathe, and do your job.
Yep.
Like all those little things, it's those little things that make the big piece of the puzzle.
Right.
It makes the whole puzzle. And so for me, that's what's exciting about my athletes is when I get a chance to sit down and talk away from the track, and the maturity and all the information starts to flow out.
That's so cool, man. I love to hear that. You've always taken racing pretty seriously from a young age. When did you start racing? When did you get into your first side-by-side?
Started racing, I think it was 2017 at a Glen Helen Dirt Series race was my first race. And I didn't start off being a good racer. I started off ninth, but we just put in the practice. We were at Lake Elsinore a ton, just practicing and getting better. So.
Dang, that's cool. And then you obviously hooked up with Troy to learn a little bit more of the racecraft and the ability to have your dad, coach you better and stuff. That's pretty cool as well.
Yep.
Man, I want to say after the camp, right after the camp, you won that championship?
Was it? I think it was right after the camp was mint that we went to and won. Yeah, so.
Which was really cool.
Yeah.
Dylan said, "You go, Chase." I don't know how to say his name. It's a pretty crazy last name. But yeah, Caden Danbury just jumped on and he said, Troy is the best coach. Thankful for him. And Caden's doing a lot of the same things as well. He's really making his professional, career go as far as he can. Getting into the 1,000 class, RS1 1,000 class. Like all those kids are jumping up, man. It's like, 170 and then it's like a snap of your fingers and they're already in RS1.
Yeah. No, and Caden, he has the biggest thing for him is his confidence.
Yeah.
Right? Confidence and getting in shape.
Yep.
And so we're always talking about Caden. Carr, we got them into the gym when they came and they were like, oh, let's do jump ropes. Well, that was a joke. So, we've taken away all of these things that you and I did in elementary and junior high, the basic foundation, jump ropes, tennis balls, all those things. When I put them into our workout environment, we start realizing what the weakness is.
Yeah.
So that's Caden's deal. Is he needs to get in shape, which he's done a great job. He's starting to learn his business to business. His sponsors are starting to come on board and partner with him. And now from there is getting back to winning again.
Hey, I helped in that program too. I took Caden on a few, 20-mile bicycle rides.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we went out there and got some cardio, man.
No, he's been, like I say, he's done a great job. And that's, again, what gets me excited is when we talk about it at the track, we talk about it in the workout room, and then all of a sudden I see in their social media and they're killing it, right?
You know what? Here. That's so true too, because it's not like I approached Caden. Caden said, hey, George, I see you riding your bicycle. Can I go?
Yep.
So it must have been something that, happened down the pipeline. And he's like, you know what? I'm fired up. I got to go keep doing more and more. So a lot of kids probably like Chase here, take it home with them.
Yeah.
And just keep doing it on their own.
Yeah, no, it's funny. I don't know if I don't have any videos. I'll have to send you some. But most of the kids cannot do a minute worth of jump rope. Mm-hmm. Like out of 40 kids the first time, I want to say.
Do you remember my first time jump roping?
Yeah, it was a joke.
Yeah, that was a joke.
Yeah, it was a joke. I was trying to be nice. I would have used truly instead. But since you said it, it was pathetic.
Yeah.
But most of them were. Caden was the same thing. Like he was just ready to pass out. And I'm like, okay, this is absolutely ridiculous. So we teach them just, again, hand-eye coordination. If you can't last a minute worth of jump rope, like how the hell can you do an hour on track and breathe and relax?
100%.
And so it was just a little things that started helping my program as well to realize where our kids were.
So let me ask you this question because I've always struggled with answering this question for myself. Back in 2012, I trained for 2 years and I competed and did an Ironman.
Okay.
And during that time, before that, I had zero idea. I didn't even know how to swim. I'm a dude from Arizona. No water around me.
I'll tell you a little story about it. Keep going.
And for the swimming portion of it, I hired a swim coach. And the first one I hired was garbage. Like, didn't even know. Like, I was just basically doggy paddling.
I had one of those.
Yeah? And so even to this day, I'm not a good swimmer. I'm barely even novice at best.
Okay.
But I drank more water the first 10 sessions than I did actually paddling water.
Yeah.
And I always wondered, had I had a professional, had I had somebody good that could have coached me, if it would have helped that much more in that instance. Because I always want to do better, right? Yep. What did I do wrong that I could have done better? And I look back at it and I go, shoot, what the heck was wrong with me for not doing better at the beginning? Do you ever have those same type of instances with people that you're training?
Yeah, I think we all have things that we suck at.
Right.
Right? I was the same deal. I actually did a triathlon. My wife talked me into it. She's a great swimmer, but she doesn't ride bikes well, and I can run and ride bikes.
So look at who I should have had be coach me on swimming, man.
You still will drown. So the thing is this, right? This is the point. We both don't swim well. I almost drowned, but my desire to finish and do better was stronger than that to lose.
Yeah.
And so I tell everybody, you know what? When we go out and run, and when I race with any of the Chase, truly, I don't care, Ronnie, very, very few, I think only one, Haley, one has beat me at the kart track.
Wow.
And it's because I always tell them my desire to not lose is stronger than your desire to win.
Yeah.
I just don't like losing.
I can agree with that statement 100%.
So for me, when we're working with athletes, sometimes when they just are really bad at a particular thing, I just don't focus on it anymore. I'm like, look, you're bad at that. You're bad at whatever it is. Maybe you have mental focus, whatever. Okay, we're just going to get to be average there.
Got it.
And let's focus on the things that you're really good at and get that a little bit better. And then slowly but surely we'll go back and address it. Because if you continue to beat up on a person on what they suck at, it's going to suck.
Yeah. It's never going to get better, right?
It's never going to get better.
You're 100% right.
I'm a bad swimmer.
Yeah.
I know I'm not going to be an Olympic athlete.
Yep.
But if I can run and ride and make that stronger, then at least I can survive through the swim, which I'm never going to do again because I damn near drowned in the lake. But never. But at least I can increase or better my time because I'm going to go ahead and work on the things that I'm good at.
You really made me feel a lot better. Like I'm wiping my brow now because that's exactly the mentality and the method that I use to be able to push through it too. Even when I was riding the bicycle after the swim at the Ironman, like I threw up. Like I had so much salt water in me. Like I tried to down like some food and stuff. It didn't help. Like nothing helped because I was so bad at it. But then I was like, you know what? Screw that. I'm going to go out and I'm going to keep pushing. And when I was on the bicycle and doing the run and stuff like that, I must have passed 50 people. I don't even know because I was so much more motivated on that end.
Yeah. And so the other side of it is how do we get better at sometimes those weaknesses? And so hopefully going into next year as this COVID thing kind of minimizes, it really is getting a lot of my athletes to the track together because I can say that Chase and like Caden would be two people that would train really, really good together.
Right.
In a sense that, you know, his mentality and Chase's mentality of attack on the track right out the gate is really good.
Got it.
Yet Caden is weak at that right now. But if you put both of them in the gym, the weaker person will get stronger eventually.
Yeah, both will rise.
And they continue to push each other. Right?
That is so cool.
And so that's what we've been able to do throughout, you know, really it was Cole, Ronnie, and Haley together, and that's what made all three of them grow at a rapid pace. It wasn't just, oh, this person was great. Ronnie sucked at one time. Shelby helped Ronnie get to that level.
Yeah.
Once Ronnie got to that level and he started winning, he actually brought on Cole Keats and Haley Deegan.
That's so cool, man. That is so good. Seth Quintero said, what's up? Yeah, boys, Chase will blow my doors off when he gets old enough to race pro. What do you think?
Maybe, yeah, Seth, probably. I mean, I don't know.
Whoa, what?
I was going to say, Troy's going to get mad at that comment.
Are you kidding me right now? For real. You just said that to him. He is nothing compared to you.
Boom.
Huh?
Like nothing.
What was
Nothing.
the question? What was the question that he said at the beginning?
So the question is,
who's better?
who's better? You or Chase?
Me.
Then
You
I'm
were
a Seth.
You were Seth, yeah.
You are. So then you can't back up and say, oh, but no. All things even. If we put Seth in a RZR.
Let's put him in a 170.
No. Let's step it up. Let's put him in a stock 1000.
Cool.
Let's put him in a stock 1000, stock 1000, and you work on it. 2 weeks, you be right there. But you can't go in mentally saying to another guy, oh, well, maybe, or nah. That just tells me right now he already beat you before we even started.
Okay.
Yep.
I already beat you.
I agree 100%, but let's throw the question right back at Troy. Who do you think is going to win in Are You Smarter Than a Third Grader?
Me.
There you go.
We don't even ask that question.
You want to play Are You Smarter Than a Third Grader?
No. Because if we don't play, I already won.
Yeah, there you go.
Jiminy Christmas. All right, here we go.
I do love that, though. And I guarantee you Seth Quintero is sitting on his couch or wherever he's at. Maybe he's out in his razor testing right now. We don't know where he's at because he's always so secretive with Red Bull and Polaris, right? But I guarantee you he's like, nope, I'm going to win.
I tell you what, let's take Seth out of his element. Why don't we bring him on? I'll put together a set 2 tag carts.
There you go.
Okay, 8 tag carts. You haven't ran a bigger car. I don't know if he's ran or not. We'll put together 2 tag carts and let you guys go at it.
Seth, this sounds like a freaking battle royale coming down.
That's it right there.
Yeah, I'd like to come film that.
Yes, sir.
While I'm driving.
Now, what do you think about that?
I want to drive.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to drive against you guys because I'm gonna wax you and Seth.
I like that. Now we're starting to talk.
All right.
All right, here we go.
So we're gonna play. Are you smarter than a third grader? Have either of you guys played this before?
No.
No.
Okay. So do you guys know the rules? Let's see here.
No.
There's that tough love right there. Seth Quintero also said, "Never been in a cart before. Let's run it."
Oh, let's get it. See?
Yeah.
Done.
All right. So we're gonna play. Are you smarter than a third grader? The rules are simple. Whoever gets the most answers wins. The way that you answer them is your name is your buzzer. So I will ask the question, and whoever says their name means that they can answer before the other person. If the other person gets it wrong, they can steal and get the point still.
So if you ask a question, I got to say Troy.
Yes.
Okay.
And if I ask a question and you know the answer, you say Chase. All right?
Okay.
You say Troy.
Yeah.
I'm good.
There you go. And if you just shout out the answer, it doesn't count, all right?
So remember, when he asks a question, you say Troy.
You see, he's already giving that mentally, trying to get in your head, dude. All right, here. First question. What is the largest planet in our solar system?
Chase.
Troy.
Jupiter.
He got it. Were you on that?
Hell, heck no.
I swear. Okay, so
Jupiter.
let me.
Why are we? We're doing something about racing.
No, this is third grader question.
Oh my God.
Let me preface this though here, just so that we
I
can
need some
do
help.
I had multiple choice, and I went through it online, taking my time, and I still didn't get 3/4 of it.
Well, then why are we doing that? I'm older than you.
It
It's been since Moses left his sandals out in the desert since I've been to school.
Next question, winner.
Oh my God.
What is the fastest land animal?
Troy. Cheetah.
Yeah.
Oh, my man.
Got
There
it.
we go.
Here we go. Now he's getting
All
fired up.
right, fired up.
1-1. All right, guys. Let's see here. Actually, this is a harder one. I don't even know why this is a third grader one.
Me either.
How many legs does a lobster have?
Troy. 12.
Close. But now, see, he's got the mental advantage because he's understanding the game, not just the answers. Ronnie Anderson figured it out quicker than RJ did, and he came away with the win. So now you can steal, though. How many legs does a lobster have?
10.
Dude, nailed it.
Yeah.
So,
That was
all right.
easy.
Let's see here.
You can't tell him. You can't say my answer and say, "Oh, you were close." You gave him a hint right there. That's okay.
I don't know if you understand, but this is all racecraft, right? So the quicker that I can see your guys' mentality and what you're picking up on means that I know who's going to win.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm hoping.
Oh, well, here, let's go. Let's dip into a little bit harder ones.
There we go.
Here. Your rich uncle wants to give you $100 every day for the next 3 days. How much will he have paid you?
Troy. 300.
Boom. Nailed it. Got it. You got to remember, this is third grade. Okay, tied up.
Okay.
We're tied up, 2-2. All right.
I was trying to wait for you on that.
Oh, here,
Damn.
that was fighting words now. You got to get your game up. All right. You have $20.
Thank God I didn't miss that.
You give $9 to your friend John and $5 to your other friend Bruce. How much do you have left?
Chase. 6.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Got it quick, man. I knew Troy had the answer. He looked at you first.
just played it. It's okay.
All right.
I got to even it up.
So, wait, are you one ahead or is it
No,
tied
no.
now?
It's even.
Oh, okay. All right, well, I'll tie it up then.
Even if it's not, it's even.
I think Chase might be ahead. We're gonna
He's up 1.
We're gonna ask 2 more
All right, here we go.
questions. We're gonna ask 2 more questions.
2 more.
To give you a chance. All right. So you only have to get 1 more to win. He has to get 2 more to win. All right.
Okay.
What planet is the? Okay, we're not doing that one then. Troy already got. Okay. Oh, actually, this is a good one here. Julius Caesar was the emperor of what empire? Troy.
Rome.
Yeah, the Roman Empire.
Woo!
We'll take that one. All right. So now it's all tied up.
Yeah, it is.
So this is the last question for all the glory right here. Let's see here. I'm going to go down a little bit. Oh, this is a good one. What is the capital of New York? Remember, this is a game. So whether you know the answer or not, there's a strategy.
Troy. Brooklyn.
That's close.
You can't say it's close. I don't know. It's the only one I know. It's the only city I thought of.
It's not close.
Oh.
It's not close as in distance, but it's close as in the
Go
letters.
ahead.
I have no clue.
No clue. All right, so we're gonna go.
What was it?
We're gonna go on to another question.
Wait, yeah, what was it?
It's Albany, New York.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't have that one. Say New York.
All right. The final question of the night for all the marbles. Championship trophy. The Statue of Liberty was a gift to the United States from what country?
Chase. France?
Woo! Winner. Good job, buddy. I saw you sweating it out at the end there. Good job,
That was
Troy.
good. I'm going to give it to you.
You did fantastic, man.
I'm going to give it to you.
Both of you guys did fantastic. That was one of the most intense games. I think Ronnie and RJ were about the only other intense game that could match on that level. So that was a good one. You guys
I should have never gave you that 6.
Oh.
You guys both did fantastic, man. Desert Squadron, let's make it a party. I want to go go-kart racing too. Yeah, and Chase Razor said Albany, so he gave somebody the answer.
Yeah.
So did you understand the reason? A lot of the reason why we play this game is because it's fun, right?
Yeah.
But there was a little bit of strategy there, and I laid out the strategy before you guys took off, and Ronnie understood the strategy before RJ ever figured it out. The strategy is, and I should probably just tell you guys off air, but you always say your name. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether you know the answer or not. You've already taken the win out of their sails.
Yeah.
If you say your name before, because then they don't have a chance.
Yeah.
So it's like you cut a whole shot and cut them off, even if you had a slower car. You just cut them off and make all kinds of dust. They can't pass you, right? It's the same exact thing. So as stupid as the game is, or as fun as the game is, there's a lot of strategy, and that's what you learn in racing, right?
I like it.
So I'm glad that you guys had a good time playing Are You Smarter Than a Third Grader? We're going to probably, we should take a quick commercial break here because we're running about 5 minutes behind. But I want to give you a chance, Troy, to let all of our audience know how they can contact you and get the same services that Chase has.
Definitely. You can always contact us at troyadamscoaching.com, which is the website. Troy Adams Coaching on IG, Facebook.
Yeah, we tagged you on some stuff too. So if they know
and then Adams Motorsports Park, which is the facility that we run at mostly.
Where is that at?
That's also in Riverside, California, right off of 60 Freeway and Market Street.
Right on. And what kind of schedules do you have?
Our schedules are pretty crazy, so the best thing to do is check online, and then if our schedules does not fit theirs, they can always call us, and we try to meet the client schedule as well because we're all busy.
Okay, got it. All right. Well, Chase, we're going to go to commercial break. Then we're going to bring your buddy, Chase Carr, on as well, right? All right, so I think this audio is going to be a little scratchy, guys, so just bear with us. I'll turn it down a little bit, but enjoy the commercials for the next 5 minutes. We'll see you guys in just a sec.
Hello, I'm Justin, the founder of Shock Therapy. Shock Therapy has been around for 5 years, but we have personally been tuning suspension on off-road cars and race vehicles for over 25 years. We tune between 10 and 15 cars per day, every single day of the week. Our concentration is tuning shock systems and supplying components that improve the ride quality of your car in many ways. Not only do we work on the average UTV, but we also tune suspension for race teams and professional drivers. We currently tune for over 87 race teams in Best in Desert and Score. Our clients and race teams rely on our suspension components to allow them to win races and keep them safe. Suspension is a moving target. We are always trying to hit that target with every customer that we work with. Each customer's needs can be different, and we tune our kits accordingly. Our research and development never stops. We improve our components every single day. As the industry evolves and improves, so do our parts and kits. As of right now, we have over 100 products for UTVs. So when you bring your car to us, you have the satisfaction of knowing that you have the most experience, the highest quality products, and the fact that your car is being tuned specifically to you.
We're here at the Mint 400. My name is Kerry King. I'm with the OTSFF Motul Vision truck. Motul oil is a big part of our race program. I mean, the consistency, the temperature that it holds, and the issues that we don't have while we're using that oil is self-explanatory.
Motul Oil, they've been with us for over 12 years. They jumped on board with us with the 6100 race truck here, Mint 400, and they've been an amazing partner with our lubricants. And really, it's allowed us to finish every race in 2019, and we're jet setting really well here for 2020.
Zollinger Racing builds the best aftermarket products available. Products for your UTV or snowmobile, including billet radius rods, billet tie rods, billet steering knuckles, billet steering racks, alternator kits, and much more. All manufactured in the United States in-house at their headquarters in Nibley, Utah. Travis Zollinger and his team test in some of the most brutal conditions, racing in places like the Best in the Desert Mint 400, Ultra 4 King of the Hammers, UTV World Championships, and many more. Visit ZollingerRacingProducts.com and use the code DIRTLIFE to get 10% off your next purchase, and join us on social media at Zollinger Racing Products to see our products in action. Zollinger Racing, the best products, period. Yeah, finally, we got Lance from Solderweld in the studio. Thanks for coming down, bud. Hey, why don't we just record a commercial now?
Yeah, why not? So good to be here, man. It's been a lot. I've been trying to get down here forever, and I wanted to talk about the off-road kit.
Dude, I love those things. I got it in my pack.
Yeah, we're running hundreds of vehicles now running them, whether it's a UTV or some guy's got it in a backpack on his motocross. He's got everything he needs to make a fix right there on the fly, out on the trail, or in the desert, whatever it is.
Well, since I've already used one, I kind of know what to use it for, but explain what it does.
All right, so let's pull one out real quick. You've got your aluminum rods. Remember, they're rods, right? So, light torch, small torch, you can throw it in there or throw it on the rig with your flux. It decontaminates and cleans, like let's say a radiator. You get a random rock chip runs through as you're racing. You get a rock chip in a radiator. You got to fix it right there, or you're out of the race.
You can patch it up instead of
patch it up. It's all good to go.
Yep, just like welding.
Yeah. Also, as well with that, you've got a brake line fix. So with your flux, you can fix a brake line, stainless steel. And then your hot block, heat absorption putty. So it keeps you from getting burned, number one, as well as keeps the heat from traveling. So it's really, really nice.
I've used this not even to fix anything. So that stuff works so good, man.
Listen, it's easy. It straps in nicely so that you have everything you need in one little place, and you don't have to carry a big bag in
it's like a first aid kit for your vehicle.
Yeah, Chase trucks have it as well, so that if they need to make a fix on the fly, they can get it done and get it done quick and get you back in the race.
Dude, those things are so cool. All right, so it's at Solderweld on Instagram, Facebook, and solderweld.com.
Awesome.
All right, thanks, bud.
Appreciate it.
All right, we are back with episode 104 of the Dirt Life Show. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. We have, legendary youth racer extraordinaire, Chase Carr with us today. How are you, Chase?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing pretty good. So we decided, over here with Chase Mankin, that we're going to just have to call you Squish, because we got to make sure that we got different at least I got to keep my head clear, right? So how does that sound with you, Nick? If we're referencing the kids, we call Chase Carr Squish, and we're just going to call Chase Mankin just Chase.
I love it.
All right, and then we have Nick Olson from Chupacabra Off-Road on our Instagram live feed. We're going to pull him up right here. There we go. Now, so everybody can see you on Facebook and YouTube as well, buddy. So how was the Sand Sports Super Show? Maybe you can tell me if you saw these bad dogs running around.
Well, I definitely saw Chase on Saturday, maybe at the height of the pandemonium. I think like midday Chase, right around like lunchtime.
Yeah, pretty much. I think it was like 11 o'clock or something. So yeah.
And you were there Saturday. I don't know if you were there any of the other days, but man, Saturday was off the hook. Super awesome to be back in Southern California where the show should be. I've been going to the show since 2013 and first time as a vendor with our own booth. So we launched some new products and we've been really trying to get our name out there and met a lot of customers, which is what I love. It's like something we don't really get to do throughout the whole year, maybe a couple times like big glamorous holiday weekends, but it was overwhelming, exciting, awesome, and fun.
Yeah, dude. Did you guys walk over to his booth and see it? Like, he actually set it up super cool. The way he had it on the corner, and he had obviously Sierra's car was over there, Sierra Romo, and Sierra was standing over there, and it was just looked like there was so many people passing by. I don't know if you guys saw it.
Yeah, his booth was sick. We were hanging out with him for a little bit. Booth, yeah, awesome. It was really cool just how it was set up. All the new products are really cool too.
What do you think, Squish?
It was pretty cool. There's 2 Sierra Romos. There's a cardboard version, and then there's the real one.
A cardboard version of Sierra Romo? Which one is better?
I'd say the real one.
The real one is cooler. Did you guys do anything fun over there, Nick, when you guys were at the booth?
Yeah, first off, having Sierra's car I thought was cool. You go to the sand show, it's a sand dune crowd, but like, how cool is it to have a desert race car, And there's a few of them. There's been a few, but it's cool to see a car like Sierra's, which top 10 car. She's super fast driver, and a lot of people were checking it out, and we got really lucky with our booth space location. But speaking of Sierra, she did some autograph signings. She's really wanted to market herself really well, and really been stepping it up lately. So I thought that was great for her to get in front of a huge off-road audience. I'm not sure how many of the audience at the show is really into desert racing, but I thought it was great. So we kind of teamed up with her, and she had a little crowd and a lot of kids. We had some custom stickers made for her for her little car, which is cool. And then we have another employee who's pretty lazy. He shows up every once in a while. His name's Chewy the Chupacabra. We've got a big mascot. So
Nice.
He was cruising around causing trouble. So we weren't sure if that was actually legal, George. I think like in the rules, you can't necessarily have, but we just ran with it, and he didn't get in trouble. He didn't get arrested. So we might see him next year.
Nice. That's actually super cool. So a couple things that I noticed, because Troy Adams was just on the show. I don't know if you got to see him, but he was talking about maybe some of the stuff that they teach over at his coaching was marketing yourself. And like you said, it's just kind of putting yourself out there. And Sierra did a good job of that this weekend. Whether it was going to be successful or not was just kind of up in the air, right? But it obviously was successful for you, being one of her business partners or her sponsors. What kind of stuff do you recommend for these two sitting here next to me in regards to that, like putting yourself out there and being more available to your partners?
Yeah. So, these two youngsters, Chase is our only athlete who's on the younger side in the youth classes. We, as a small brand, I'm a little bit of a racer myself, pay somewhat close attention. I'm not near in the world like all of you guys are and go to all the events. But, I try to get an idea of who's interesting in terms of, first off, we're on social pretty heavy. So we have a good idea of who has a good presence and kind of certain people that stand out. So I think, content's incredibly important. I've listened to your show a couple times, George, and it sounds like you're on the same wavelength where, in the sport of off-road racing, a lot of things can go wrong. A lot of things can happen. So, getting wins, getting podiums is awesome. But, also from a sponsor perspective, your social, doing things like that, going to events like Sancho, having a presence there with your, like Chase had his factory shirt on, which is cool, is important from what a sponsor perspective, because it's on and off the racetrack as a whole in terms of what do you provide? Because there's a lot of people that race, and, as a brand, we want to have a little bit of racing in our ethos. I think some of those race parts and racers can help sell the parts to the guy who might not ever race, but I think it's important. Like I make some of my decisions if a tire does really well and holds up certain parts, I think, and we just launched a race specific mirror. So I think if I was encouraging you youngsters, I'd look at which brands are you launching products that other racers might be using, or they're trying to use the racer demographic to maybe kind of spread that message of that product or service to the broader community.
Yeah, 100%. And we'll touch on that a little bit more, but Seth Quintero just actually made a funny comment online. He said this was the first year that he didn't see anyone post the Sancho meme. And that's funny because the whole time we were going up to the Sancho, we were making fun of that thing. So I should have posted it, Seth. I'm sorry, buddy. So going on what Nick was saying, How informed are you guys about social media, and like, what do you guys do to make sure that? Well, COVID is a good example, right? Like, what did you guys do during COVID since you weren't racing to give back to your sponsors? You go first, Chase, and then Squish. You can go after.
Well, if you've seen our trailer, first of all, we've got big stickers on our trailer supporting our sponsors. When I go to school, if my whole wardrobe is just all sponsored stuff, that's pretty much all I wear. So it's just stuff like this.
And you're posting about it on social media and the things that you're doing and stuff like that too.
Yeah, we're trying to support our sponsors as much as possible.
Even if you're going to Troy Adams coaching, you're posting it on social media.
Pretty much, that's the sponsors are the name of the game.
Yeah,
so.
100%, and that's how you get to your goal of being a champion at 22 years old, right?
Exactly.
What about you, Squish?
Same as Chase. Just wear my sponsor shirts. I race like a bunch of stuff. I race jet skis, so my jet skis wrap to match my car.
Nice.
All my sponsors. Posting on Instagram. That's like main part.
Making sure that you're sharing your life with the people that care about you, right?
Yeah.
And the people that support you. I know that you guys both did a little bit. You guys looked for other races other than just your normal series to go to so that you could still keep racing a little bit. Did you go to Texplex, Chase?
I have not gone to Texplex yet.
Squish, you did, right?
Yeah. I did Texplex last year, the last round, and then we've done every single round this year so far.
Yeah, that's cool, man. And then so you got to respect stuff like that, Nick, when they say that they're actually trying to look for other opportunities to help with their partners.
For sure. It's kind of hard to do. Desert racing is a niche sport in the youth class. You guys, I kind of feel like represent the first wave of young racers. And as you're moving up, with maybe Polaris stepping in heavier with the youth racing and kind of putting the 170 out there in that class beginning. I think it's, UTV racing obviously is a really young sport, but particularly, no pun intended, but for you youngsters, even younger. And it's really cool to see where you guys have come from. I mean, even just first time I ever rubbed shoulders with Chase was back in 2019, and he's so much bigger than he was back then, but cool to see where they're going to head. And this whole class, you can see they're all competitive, and it's cool to see, boys and girls, and where they're going to be and how they are going to interact with sponsors, because they're kind of this new wave, new school. Yeah. And I come from like the two-wheel background. And Chase is like, he's our Adam Cincerillo, he's our, like, you've heard about him, he's strong. Like, his current plus his future values is just exciting to kind of think and talk about.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It looks like the comments are coming in. I can't keep up with all of them because they keep going by on our screen. But, so going along that same lines, though, I think, and I don't want to get off on a social media tangent here, but I think you guys are doing a fantastic job, especially you, Chase. You brought 2 cupcakes here today. You brought a 4-Wheel Parts cupcake, and you brought a Dirt Life Show cupcake. And both of those, as much as you might think that these are just like fun, really tasty treats, these are actually really meaningful to a person like me that's running a business, to these guys at 4-Wheel Parts that you guys you brought burritos and stuff, because you're giving back to your partners, and what your parents are showing you guys is really, really valuable in the long run, to be able to understand that these people are partnering up with you because they care about you as a person and they see value in your program. They want to see you succeed and get to that 22-year-old status that you're a professional driver. They want to support that. And you being a partner with them and showing the love back to them is very, very cool. So you got to be proud of your parents and of you for doing it.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do, is support our sponsors as much as they're supporting us.
Yeah, absolutely. So anytime you have a creative idea like that, don't be afraid to, and even you too, Squish, to tell your parents, to be like, you know what, Mom, we should go down to 4-Wheel Parts and do this, or we should go to the KMC guys and do this, or whoever it is, Polaris guys, and send them a little bit of love, because it's very, very meaningful that they're part of your guys' program.
Yeah.
So have you guys ever seen them at the races and just invite them into your pits or anything like that for your partners?
I've seen, like, Brett from Polaris.
Yep.
He's a really cool man. I don't know if we've really, like, invited him into the pit.
Yeah.
He's always welcome.
You should ask him to come hang out one of these days, because he's a really cool guy, man.
Yeah.
He's actually got a special piece of my heart, that's for sure. All right, so Nick, I don't know if you already know these guys more than I do, but do either of you have any siblings?
Yeah, I've got a sister.
You got a sister, and what about you, Squish?
Single child.
Just you?
Yep.
Do you know Chase Mankin's sister?
Yeah.
Is she pretty cool?
Yeah.
Right on. Do you guys all get to ride razors together?
We tried to get her into it. She's not really into it.
What's she into?
She's into gymnastics.
Dude, honestly, like I give that a little bit more credit than off-road cars because gymnastics looks so hard, dude. Holy crap, man, it looks difficult.
Yeah, when I go to try and do it, I'm falling all over the place. And
It's probably like me and Troy swimming. Like we're not trying to do that anymore. Like you guys aren't trying to do gymnastics.
Yeah, she's doing this like backflip tucks and stuff, which is I'm just like, huh?
Yeah, that's exactly what I think too. I don't know if Nick's a big gymnastics guy, but I definitely am not. So, Nick, these two right here have won some serious races. So, Chase Mankin runs 3 classes. He in works. He does the 250 class, the 570 class, and the RS1 class. Do you do all those same classes too, Squish?
Last year I was in the 250 class, and then just this year I'm in the stock and production class.
Man, that's a lot of racing. Do you have any other drivers that are on your roster that run that many motos, we'll call it, Nick?
No, I mean, speaking of the earlier point, you said reaching out to sponsors. Chase reached out when he was doing a works race right in my neck of the woods up here in Peoria, Arizona. So I came out, I was able to shoot some content, did a YouTube video, and it kind of went around all 3 of his race cars. So, I mean, him and the team, mom and dad, I mean, keeping all those cars prepped for all those classes is really impressive. I mean, I can only imagine, and I got a little one, so, maybe my little ones might follow the path of these two and get into some 4-wheel racing. And, it seems like that's what it takes to be competitive and see, Chase ripping in the RS1. And I mean, that's a fun, fast little rig, and it's cool to see. So no, I mean, at some of the races I know where they would do short course and desert, the Rummels will run both, like Parker, but no, I mean, Chase definitely takes the cake.
Dude, that's pretty hardcore that you do that. Do you have to get your cars all prepped up, both of you guys? Do you have to work on your cars and get them prepped before the races?
Oh, yeah, I help my parents on them. It's a lot of work with 3 cars, so it's just all the time.
Yeah, hustle all the time.
Yeah.
Come home, do your training, do your schoolwork, do your homework, and then go work on the cars?
Exactly, yeah.
And you too, Squish? Same thing?
It's definitely a big help since we have the shop, Car One Fabrication.
Shout out.
Yeah, that's when my dad's not here.
Yeah, because he's at work, right?
Working, yeah. He's been working till 12 every night.
Ooh, man, that's crazy, right? All right, so one thing that I wanted to ask these kids, Nick, and I'm sure you as a business owner want to know this too. How many championships do you each have? Let's let Chase Carr go first, and then you can answer Chase Mankin. Because you guys both have a lot of race wins. I mean, like, I've seen you guys at a Texplex, at Works, and you guys are ripping, dude. Like, the speed that you guys are going is pretty phenomenal.
I'm trying to think. Are you talking like dirt bikes too, or just like racers?
I don't know, man. If you're asking Troy, he's probably going to count all your wins, so I would just tell them all, dude.
You
got a lot of them. I know Chase and Mankin, you have a bunch as well.
I think we've got, 6. And... yeah, 6.
Well, that's 6 more championships than this guy has right here, and I reached a professional level. And so I think you have a very, very good chance of getting to that top level and getting your age 22 Red Bull sponsorship. You probably have those same goals too, though, Squish, right?
Yeah, definitely.
That's
really,
pretty cool that you guys look that far ahead and think that good of your program at that point in that age. I mean, it's got to be relatable to you, Nick, on a business level to have that much motivation behind one kid.
Yeah, Squish, I like that you said you brought up 2-wheel stuff too. I think one thing when people send us race resumes, they talk about what their past is, and things like dirt biking is really relevant. Biking. I mean, I'm of the camp that I think 2-wheel dirt training of all kinds is going to make you faster in your UTV and your RZR. So it's good to know. And another thing that a lot of racers too, as another tip, is they don't, or sometimes forget to tell us what's coming up next. I think sometimes a race resume is a little bit like a job resume. Okay, here's what I did. Here's the races that I won. But also too, as we're looking at, okay, this racer versus that racer for sponsorship, which races are you trying to do next year? What are your longer term goals, especially for you youngsters? It's something that it kind of gets missed a lot, and it's good to hear. So I think that's all really helpful, in terms of your past, and then also where you want to go. Do you want to race some 2-wheel stuff too? Do you do it as well? That's awesome to hear. Any other interest? I think it's cool. It kind of shows more about you, and something that is cool to see when a racer puts that through on their race resume.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, Nick, we don't want to cut you short, man. We really appreciate it. We know you got to get back to your 968 emails or whatever, and we got to have Ronnie Renner jump on the line, too, with us. So thanks for hanging out with us, homie. We really appreciate it, and congrats on all the success in the Sand Show.
Thanks, Nick.
See ya.
Thanks, man.
We'll see you
Catch
later,
you guys
buddy.
next time.
Have fun. All right. So we'll get Ronnie Renner on the line here. Have either of you guys talked to Ronnie before?
I have.
No.
You have?
I have one time at my dad's shop when he was building
Well, talk about two-wheel success, man. He's had a lot of success on two wheels here.
Yeah.
All right. So now both of you guys have somebody to look up to that's on the line with us right now. We have 10-time X Games gold medalist Ronnie Renner on with us. What's up, Ronnie? How are you? Ronnie, can you hear us, buddy? We're talking to you. I don't know if he can hear us.
What's happening, guys? Hopefully my signal's working out. I'm out here in the sticks in Florida, so the internet's like a little shady.
Yeah, no worries. Can you hear us talking to you right now? Because we are actually speaking with you. Maybe try to log off and then log back on. I don't know how to actually...
I hear you just fine. I don't know.
Okay.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, okay. It sounds like it just has a little bit of a lag, so I might have to just talk a little bit while we ask him. So thanks for joining us, Ronnie. We really appreciate it, man. That's super cool of you to hang out with us, especially as late it is where you are. But, yeah, that's awesome, man. First of all, congratulations on all your success on two wheels. We were actually just talking to the boys about what they want to do in their off-road careers, and Chase Carr actually mentioned a little bit about him racing two wheels, too. Do you think that the two wheels helps with going forward on four wheels?
I think so. I mean, obviously, I haven't really proven myself on four wheels like I have on two, just besides jumping some things, I guess, shows that I'm not scared. And I take every skill that I have from a dirt bike and put it into effect when I jump the razors. So that definitely helps. Racing, for sure. I always felt the few times that I raced my SR1 at the Lucas races, looking for those cushions out there and these little extra little things to bank off of, or maybe snag an inside line. I think that was moto based, and I think Jeremy McGrath, Brian Deegan, quite a few people came from moto, showing that was a good advantage.
Yeah, it's because you have a creative line choice and a little bit different thinking than most of the guys that get out there. I know that a past champion, his name is Robert Stout. He came from road course racing, and he came and he won the production UTV championship, I think 19 or 2020. And he went out to Texplex and he did horrible. And he admitted, he was like, dude, all the motocross guys, they got a massive advantage going out to a place like Texplex where there's big jumps and stuff. So I think what you're saying, Ronnie, is completely true.
Yeah, I'm not depressed that was my first, my entry level sport when I was 4 years old was dirt bikes. I think it's been a catalyst for everything I've gone to. Motocross, it's to me one of the gnarliest sports, and that's no disrespect to off-road, because I got a really quick humbling and learning lesson moving in there. People are fast and throwing it down, and there's no replacement for seat time, basically. So people that, I think quad riders, even quad motocross people, the Wellers, the Matlocks, they all show that having that dirt experience on a different type of vehicles, not bad.
Yeah, exactly. And so these two youngsters that are sitting here next to me, Chase Carr and Chase Mankin, both of you guys have, you guys probably don't even know it right now, but you have a massive advantage on a guy that's like, coming in, because you guys have practiced this since a very young age and even won championships in most of your respected classes. So when you hear a guy like Ronnie talk about that stuff, how does it feel to you, Squish?
I've been riding moto and BMX bikes. It's all started on two wheels since, 2-3 years old.
Yeah.
Bikes helped me out so much in racing on four wheels. As soon as I got in, my dad was like, wow, I did not know you could do that.
Does it give you a little bit of an understanding of like what Ronnie was saying, like more creative line choice? You can see the cushion, you can know where to bank to get an inside line, like what Chase Mankin was saying earlier about the apex of the corners. Like, do you think motocross tuned you up for that?
Yeah, definitely helped a lot. Like a bunch of people, like Casey Lytle, first time he saw me race, he's like, wow, he took a lot of moto took like moto lines, like to help him like get past that person.
Yeah, that's super cool. Yeah, shout out to Casey Lytle, too. I
Yeah.
raced with him when I was little, too. And what about you, Chase? Did you also think that same way?
Oh, well, yeah, starting from a young age definitely helps because you've got a bunch more experience under your belt, where if someone joined right now, it takes them a couple races to get that experience under them, or at least try and get caught up where you've already got all that. So I think being young like that definitely helps starting out racing, where I've never been on like two wheels or anything.
Right.
I tried when I was 5, and we were out in the sand, and I did not like it. So
You bit the dust.
yeah.
So, Ronnie, hearing both of those answers, and obviously having young kids of your own, how does it like translate over to you when you hear the young kids say that and say one guy is a 4-wheel guy, one guy is a 2-wheel guy, now a 4-wheel guy? I mean, how does that translate, and what do you think of that?
Well, the old man in me has to say, I hope all these kids realize how grateful they should be that they get to do all these things at their age. When you get up to my age, I'm going to sound like a real old dude here, but we didn't have all these options, just to go to the go-kart track and drive the crappy, like $5 go-karts was the biggest thrill of your life, So these guys getting able to hop in razors, starting with 170s and then up to RS1s, it's like, and getting to ride moto. You guys are very blessed, very lucky to be in that position. So, but to, not carry on about that, it is what it is. I have kids of my own. I'm guilty of putting them in a saddle of everything, behind the wheel or behind the handlebars. And it's cool to watch as a father. And, I know you guys have to have supported families behind you, and it all goes hand in hand. But to mention something before it gets off my mind about the racing, I think have this advantage coming from the motocross world. You also have, I wouldn't call it a disadvantage, but something you need to be self-aware of is to be patient and look ahead a little more. I think the flow with 4-wheel is so much more important because you can't make up the lost time quite the same as a dirt bike. So you really have to hang in there and choose your attack at the right moment.
Yeah, I can agree with Ronnie 100%. And I had a big problem with that when I transitioned from 2 wheels into 4 wheels. Is I always thought, okay, you could just, on 2 wheels, you can just haul butt and go as fast as you can, and you can cut to the inside and just pass somebody real quick. Well, on 4 wheels, like at a short course track, you got to set up your corners like 2 or 3, 4 or 5 corners in advance, and finally get, like, at the end of that lap, you could finally make the pass to do it. And I had a massive problem with that. But do you guys have that, or do you guys think that far ahead?
Well, yeah, you've definitely got to be thinking farther ahead. If you're right behind someone, you've got to be looking in front of them. You can't be looking in their bumper. If there's not a passing opportunity, you've just got to stay right on their bumper and wait for that opportunity. If they make a mistake, maybe bump them, let them know you're back there, get them nervous. So yeah, you've definitely got to carry momentum too. Like you said, on dirt bike, going into a corner, you can kind of just dive to the inside, where apexing and these are big, heavy machines,
right,
where you've got to carry your speed more.
Yeah, exactly. Or on a dirt bike, you could take hero line and just go around the outside, but it doesn't work the same way on a 4-wheel vehicle. Well, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to ask Ronnie what he's been up to, because we have a couple pictures on the main feed that we want to show. So what's been taking up most of your schedule the past few weeks here, Ronnie? It looks like his internet's bogging out a little bit. All right, so we'll just kind of keep continuing on. I don't know if it'll kick him off or what it'll end up doing, but he's given some really good advice. He's saying that you guys got to be appreciative of all the stuff that you guys are given, right? And you really love and support your family and love the support that they give you guys, right, Squish?
Yeah, my parents work their butt off so that we can go and do fun stuff every weekend.
Exactly. I feel the same way. I feel very blessed to be out here and be able to do all this, because not many kids get to come out here and go race like this or do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, right? And so whenever you get the opportunity, I'm sure that you guys do good stuff for your parents as well. I mean, like, even just today, coming here, you gave me a card, Chase, thanking me for being on the show. Like, that is super cool. And inside the card, you had something that's really cool. It's a picture of some of the graphics that we designed for the show. And on the back, you actually wrote a memory of it. Like, those things are really, really meaningful. Like I said with the cookies, or it's a cupcake, excuse me. you guys both understand what you're given. Like, you guys both understand what Ronnie was talking about and appreciate what you guys have.
Yeah, like it's kind of little things that can make a big difference and stuff.
Hey,
just by like cupcakes and stuff.
Should we smash this on Squish's face real quick?
Do
Do it live on the show. All right, so let's. I don't know if this feed's going to come back with Ronnie or not, but we'll just keep going with the show. And if he's able to come back, Ronnie, we would love to have you come back if you can, dude. I know that the internet is not good where you're at, but how hard is it for you guys to balance school, racing, and everything that you have to do? Prep, life, your sister, all of that different stuff.
Well, you've definitely got to be you've definitely got to be really focused, because if you don't get something done at school, you've got less time to do it at home. So you just got to try and fit in that stuff, and because school is really important, so you got to just try and get all that done.
Yeah, exactly, right? Because you can't be, you can't go racing if you're not in school and doing good and getting good grades, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I don't know, man. It doesn't look like Instagram's really agreeing with what we're doing right now. So, Ronnie, I'm not sure if we can get you back on, bud, but we really appreciate it. We'll try and see if we can do it a little bit later. What about you, Squish? What about school and balancing everything? Because it sounds like you probably have to go to your dad's shop and actually help him get your cars ready and stuff too, right?
Yeah, school is definitely a big part of life. For me, I do a program at Springs, the charter school. It's 1 day a week. The rest is independent study. So those days I can go to the shop and help out my dad.
Does it work pretty good?
Yeah,
What are your guys' favorite subjects, or like what do you guys like doing the most at school?
Math.
History.
Math and history? Oh, there you go. I feel like I should ask a third grader question to you guys too. So if you guys' favorite subject is math, what does that mean that you want to be when you grow up? Like if racing wasn't an option, what would you do?
I want to build race cars like my dad.
Really? Mm-hmm. That sounds pretty cool. You need a lot of math to be able to do that, because you got to have angles, you got to have, how to weld, you got to be able to cut tubes, right? Like the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. And then what did you say your favorite subject was, Chase?
My favorite subject's history, so I just think it's interesting learning about like how things happened and what these societies were doing 100, 200, 300,000 years ago.
Dude, it's crazy because I like math, and I also like thinking about that too, because of the simplistic way of living. Like that's why I like thinking about it, because it was a lot different back then. Ronnie Renner, are you back, buddy? Man, it seems like the Florida internet's
Yeah, I hope so. If I lose you, I'll just say adios now, because Mother Nature came in, started raining, and I got a.
Well, yeah, it sounds like he might.
Yeah,
have a
I
storm
got the freaking satellite internet, so when the storm comes through, it's all over.
Yeah, no worries, man.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we just let you go right now, man? I really appreciate you giving the young kids some advice. And first of all, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to hang out with us on this podcast that we have here. The kids really appreciate it, and we really appreciate you very much, man. And again, congratulations on all the success that you've had. And I'm so stoked to see that you're getting out there and doing a lot of stuff on four wheels. Maybe when you're not at the house and you're in at a corporate environment or something with a little bit faster internet, we can get you on the show again and talk about some of the stuff that you have going on, because you're living a pretty adventurous life, man.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, Ronnie.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, good luck, kids.
Thank you.
Take it easy on us old guys when you see us out there on the track. Remember, we're just out there hobby driving at this point. Now, looking forward to seeing you guys on the track, and thanks for having me on. Take care.
Really appreciate it, Ronnie. Thank you very much. It's super cool that you guys have a special person like that can root you on,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go back to talking about your guys' lives here. So you guys really do, like we're talking about or Ronnie brought it up, like being able to hang out with family and spending so much time with family. You have to juggle all of your schoolwork and stuff, but you guys get to see some amazing places when you're traveling to go to the races, and just spending so much time with your family that a lot of other kids don't get to see. I want to ask two questions. I want to ask, first of all, how do you like it? And second, how are you treated at school or during the times that you're at school with your other friends? So let's answer the first question. How do you like the traveling, Squish?
It's pretty cool. You get to see like different, like how people are different around like different states, and like Texas, people are super cool there. Like you break something, they're like, "Go ahead, take it off my car."
Yeah, exactly.
Super nice.
Or even if you get a flat tire on the side of the road, somebody pulls over for you instead of just like whizzing by like California, right?
Yeah.
What about you? What are some of the things that you noticed, Chase Mankin?
Well, yeah, we have to travel all the West Coast for the works races and stuff. So
Didn't you go to Idaho?
I didn't because of my shoulder. I broke my shoulder mountain biking.
Where was the furthest that you traveled for a race then?
I think it was Utah.
How was that? Was it pretty cool with your family?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy because you're in a motorhome for 10 hours or something.
Did you want to like kill your family? And
yeah, you can kind of start to go insane after a while, but yeah.
What do you guys do? Do you guys play card games and stuff on the road?
Yeah, we'll play some card games. I'll scroll through Instagram and stuff. So, yeah.
We did the same thing. And then, excuse me, when you're going to all those different places and seeing all those things, you got to be like, first of all, feel that you're lucky. But then when you get back to school or you get back into real life, what do other people think about it?
Most people think it's pretty cool. They think, wow, and a lot of people never heard of what I'm doing. So it's pretty cool to, my teachers, I have to take a decent amount of school off to get to the races. So you got to balance that schoolwork at the same time, get stuff done early and stuff. So, yeah, people are pretty cool with it, so yeah.
James P. 30 says, yeah, Utah is the best. I'm not going to say the word that he says right there. Okay, so we already talked about kind of balancing school and racing and stuff like that, but there's so much that goes into racing. Like maybe you can tell our audience, I know that you won't be able to give it to us in a number of hours, but like how much actual time like during the day do you guys spend prepping and getting your brain ready and training and doing these things to get to the point where you want to be able to do, like, to go win races?
Well, you've got to do a lot of stuff. School, that takes a decent amount of time. Then you got to prep the cars. You got to get I do mountain biking, I do MMA and wrestling, so I spend a good amount of time.
MMA too?
Yeah, I do that like 4 days a week, so.
Dude, look at you, how well-rounded you are. So when we get in a fight, you're going to kick my butt.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, see? There you go, Troy. I don't know if you heard that, but I said if him and I get in a fight, he's like, yep, I'll win. What about you, Chase Carr?
Yeah, definitely school takes a lot of time. My school that I go to is pretty cool. I start at like 9:45, go to 2:30, and then after that, usually come home, do my chores, play around with my dogs, and I go to school Thursday in person, so like the rest of the days, go work at the shop, help my dad, wash cars, anything I can do, because
there's a lot of stuff that can be done, right?
Yeah.
So you guys hardly get any downtime then. You guys probably have to be working and achieving goals on a daily basis, it sounds like.
Oh, yeah, the cars, especially 3 cars, next year we're getting out of the 170 and 250 class and moving into 571,000 only. So, yeah, it's definitely a lot of work right now with 3 cars because that's 3 cars you got to fully prep. And when we just had the 170, we thought that was a lot of work. So
yeah, dude, it's so much work. I mean, like I remember when I was racing professionally, I would put in a good 60 hours a week at my job as a software engineer, and then I would probably put in another, I don't know. It was about 80 hours of work to get 15 minutes of drive time at the races. So however much that ended up being to be able to put in during the week. And most people can't fathom that, right? Because they go to a 60-hour work week and they're just like, okay, I'm beat. And then you're putting in all this other time just to go get 15 minutes of drive time at the races. It's a pretty difficult task. And so I really give you guys a lot of credit for being so willing to be able to put in all those hours, man. It's pretty cool to see from such young kids.
Yeah. So recently, been around the shop because my dad's very packed on work.
Yeah.
It's a little different around there. There's another car in there.
Oh, there is.
May or may not be yours.
Oh,
really?
I haven't heard of this.
You got a surprise for him?
My dad building you a new car.
Oh.
Really?
I haven't heard of that. Sick.
Really?
Yep.
What kind?
RS1, just like mine.
RS1?
Really?
So
that sounds cool.
Wow. That's a lot to take in real quick.
I know, right? You should be just jumping around like, screw this podcast. I'm going to go run around and get down to the shop and start looking at this
I
bad
just
boy.
see it pull up outside.
That would be pretty cool. Dang, that's a good announcement. Thanks for telling him, dude.
Yep.
That's cool.
Can you wait to get it? Dude, I would already be so amped to get in that thing.
Yeah. We got the RS1 last year from him at Works, and then we both got new cars, so...
No wonder he's been at the shop so much lately, huh?
Oh, yeah.
He's trying to get all your stuff all dialed in.
Trying to clue me in or something.
Hey, so talking about the RS1, so you guys both just got into the RS1s, right? I've only got to race one once in my life. Honestly, it was like my favorite car to drive. It was so cool.
Yeah, this is my first year. Is this your second year?
Yeah, second year in RS1.
And how do you guys like it?
It's a lot of fun. It's a different driving style than the 170s and 250s.
Oh, way different, right?
Yeah, because it's 4-wheel drive versus 2-wheel drive, and it's a whole lot faster.
Yeah.
So everything's happening much faster.
Oh, I agree 100%. But it's smooth though, and like it's probably like for you, Squish is like when I got in it, I was like, this is closer to moto than a normal side by side. Like it's pretty fun. Because you can see the wheels, like you're leaning, it's like so skinny. Like it really did feel way more moto.
Yeah, the only other 1000 that I drove was my dad's 2-seater.
Yeah. So you know exactly what I'm talking about,
Yep.
that same feeling, right?
Yeah, that's why I like that car so much.
Yeah, and you probably, coming from the other cars, like the 570, you're probably like, wow, this car, like even though it's bigger, it feels more agile.
Yeah, when I first got in the 570, I was same thing. I was like, wow, this is fast. But now when I jump in from the RS1 to the 570, I'm like, why isn't it going? But it's just like that speed difference is crazy.
So what do you think Troy would tell you when you go in between those two cars? Like, because you're like, okay, the RS1, I can just like pin it, I'm like good, and then you go to the other one and you're just like, oh, I won't go fast enough.
Yeah, you've just got to adapt, and what we're learning in the 570 is that those things can handle a good amount of beating. So yeah, over all those whoops, it's just full pin.
So do you guys know who Jacob Peter is?
Yep. Yes.
Yeah. So my nickname for him is Full Pepper. Like, because he's just always on the throttle, like no matter what. And so when I think of that, I think of, okay, if you told Jacob Peter that the 570 could take a beating, he would probably figure out a way to beat it up. Okay, JD20 Wheel said, good show tonight, George. Really cool to see those kids appreciating what they have and the work they're already putting in. And cool to see Troy on the podcast, too. Adams Motorsports Park is great. So I think that comment says a lot. Yeah. Because it really says that you guys are putting a lot of effort into your programs. You guys are putting the right tools in place to achieve your goals. You have a good mentor and coach in Troy. And you guys have already started seeing benefits from all of the stuff that you're doing, like winning races and championships and stuff like that. So I think you guys should continue on that route, man. It's pretty cool to see two youngsters making such progress.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy what these kids can do and how talented all of this racing community is.
Yeah, and how much support you get from everybody, right?
Yeah.
All right, so going back to the traveling thing that we were talking about, it sounds like Utah might be your favorite. Like, what's your favorite place that you went to?
Oh, yeah, I mean, the last Utah race, Cedar City, was really fun. It was just a great, it was a great track. It was a great, just facility as well. Had water slide. It had like an entire lake inside of it too, so it was pretty sick.
Yeah, that sounds super cool. What about you?
Mine?
Squish? Yeah, where was your favorite place?
So, 2 wheels or 4 wheels?
That's a good question. Before, did you go to that Midwest, the one in Oklahoma?
I did go to Visions.
Which
is Mid-America, yeah.
Dude, I'm so jealous of you because, like, I would have just totally scrapped the racing part of it and just went and sat on the lazy river the whole time.
It was cool, but I think second day we were there, which was right before my race, I was messing around on my pit bike just like every other kid at the moto races. Foot got stuck in the peg and I sprained it.
Oh,
that wasn't very fun. So
these dang dirt bikes, man, they really get you every time.
Yeah.
All right, so what was your favorite place that you've been to?
So moto was Loretta's. That place is cool.
Loretta's was super cool. I like Ponca's better.
I don't think I went there.
Yeah, I think maybe
No,
that
I
was
didn't.
before your generation, but yeah, Loretta's a cool. Oh, what about Lake Whitney? You could still go there. That thing, dude, that's like chocolate cake around the whole track.
I don't think I've gone there.
That place
And then
is so sick.
Razors was definitely Mid-America. That
Really?
place is really cool.
So does that mean that it makes you want to go over to Mid-America?
Yeah, I think we're gonna try to do those series, or just, probably the series, but at least just a couple races.
Yeah, that's cool. And then you get to experience more of the country. But I will
Yeah.
tell you that you have to play games going through Oklahoma because there ain't crap to see going through that state, man. There's
Nope.
nothing. So you guys will have to figure out some games. Okay, so since we're talking about those same kind of things, let's let Squish answer first. But what's your guys' most memorable race?
Oh, dude. We were actually talking about this on the break.
Oh, were you?
Was the track?
Was it
Competitive Edge? Or was
You
it
guys had a-
Sunset?
You guys had a side-by-side race at Competitive Edge?
I think
Oh,
so.
are you thinking of
When I had the stalker.
Let's see here.
Sun City?
Who's
think
handling
that's it.
Chase Mankin's Instagram account? Because they just said, what about the mod car?
Oh, yeah. Let's
How
hear
much
it.
horsepower?
Oh,
The benchmark
okay,
bullet.
you guys want to hear it? So,
Give us a little bit of a backstory, though. Do they call it the benchmark bullet? Is that what
Yeah.
they call it?
yes, this
So,
is
so Chris Hawks.
Yeah, this is Travis Silly's old car. It's a motor made by Chris Hawks from Benchmark Performance. Really
Awesome
cool,
dude.
really cool dude. Yeah. So that car is crazy. It's insanely fast. I'll get you guys in the ballpark. It is.
I'll get you guys. You can't give away your secrets or what, dude?
It is 26 to 30 horsepower.
Jeez, man. That sounds pretty cool for a little car.
Oh yeah, it's really fast because that's a little bit. That's basically triple of a 170.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy,
They
man.
start for like 7-8 horsepower.
How do you
Yeah.
hold transmissions together? Do you buy products from Chuck over at CMI?
Yep, we're running his products. So yeah, he's got really strong products over there that work really well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
those transmissions came out right after I finished.
I had lunch with him
250s.
the other day, and he's got even better stuff coming.
Oh, okay.
So, so was that car pretty rad?
Oh, that car is insanely rad. Yeah, it's so cool because it's two-wheel drive. It's first time I got in, got so much powers, and I spun it out like instantly.
I was gonna say peeling out everywhere.
Yeah, it's a crazy car to drive because even though it's almost got as much power as the 570s, but it's two-wheel drive and a lot smaller, so it's way lighter, and that thing just boogies.
Dude, that's so crazy. I mean, that's cool though. It sounds like a pretty rad car. All right, let's go
Yeah.
back to what we were talking about before. What's your favorite place or most memorable race?
Most memorable race was probably 2019 World Championships, where I started off second row with, again, George Lamos's first row.
Seems like you guys are always right up each other's
Yeah.
tail, right?
So he, again, checks out, got a battle through the first row again. So we're, again, just put in a ton of work to get past all those guys. Once I get past all of them, then we start hitting lap traffic. But keep pushing through that, and then just
You work your
apexing.
racecraft together?
Wait, say that again?
Do you work your racecraft together to pass all those people, or do you go out on your own and do it?
No, because George was on first row, I'm on second row. So
you had to catch
so
up,
yeah,
yeah.
I have to catch up. So I'm just putting down fast lap times. And then we finished the race. We have no clue what we got. We probably thought we came top 4 or something.
Yeah.
And we see George on top of his car all celebrating, and then over the loudspeaker we hear unofficial winner Chase Mankin.
Dang.
So yeah, we were pretty excited. I jumped out of my car, gave my dad a big hug, and yeah, it was pretty cool.
Dude, the suspense, like, before you get that announcement was probably intense, huh?
Yeah, that was crazy. I was not expecting to win that race.
What was your favorite race, Squish?
Last year, Works 250.
The Works 250?
Yeah.
Where, what track?
Prim, Nevada. So the first day was short course.
Yeah.
I won that one, and the second
I
day,
was there. I don't know if I saw your guys' moto, though.
I think it was early in this morning on Saturday.
Oh, okay.
And then the next day was desert. So I was first row, and I think I got the whole shot. I pulled out like 10 seconds, and then out of nowhere, all I hear on the radio is Cruz Burchard's gaining on you.
Uh-oh.
And by the last lap, he was on my tail, got by me, and I think second to last turn, he biked it up and blew a belt.
Oh, no.
I know.
Dude, what a bummer for him, but that was good for you, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. George Lamosa's comments in the cool guys icons with, oh, yeah. That's pretty awesome. I love hearing those stories because it really, it takes me back. One of my best races that I've ever had, I didn't win. I actually got second. But it was at Glen Helen, and I was on an 80. We were racing 80 Expert against a guy named Sean Hamlin. And I fell down in the first turn. I passed every single dude, and I was half a bike length from passing him at the end. It was the best race. When you're in the zone, you know what they call it? And you just can't, you don't know anything else is going on, and you're just hitting all your lines, and you're doing so good. That's how I felt that day. So I'm assuming that's kind of what you guys felt like at those races.
Yeah, you just gotta focus and put down those hard lap times. And
sometimes it's hard though, right?
Oh yeah, because your body wants to stop, but you've just got to tell yourself to keep going.
Keep going and keep focused. And then sometimes it's easy. You just zoned in and you just go for it, right? All right. So what has actually, this is going along those same lines. It might be the Benchmark Bullet, but what has been your favorite car to drive so far? All right, you go, Squish.
250. My last 250 car.
Was that one that you drove in Havasu Works? With the blue and white and orange stickers on it?
Yep.
Yeah, dude, that thing sounded like a freaking... So it was like a factory floor. It was vroom, vroom. It sounded so good.
Yeah.
That
was a good weekend.
Yeah.
Finished every
You were
moto.
hucking a bunch of those jumps, too.
Yeah, I think there was a double along the fence line that only a couple of us were doing it.
Yeah,
Was it out
of that big sweeper? Out of that big long sweeper? Going towards the back section or no?
You do the back section, you make a right-hander, then a left-hander, and then there's a right-hand double that the mod cars were making. You could overshoot it, but he was hitting it in the stock car, I think.
Was this Mesquite?
No, Havasu.
Havasu. Wait, I don't remember a double at Havasu.
It was somewhere in the track. That track's hard to remember.
I remember seeing you guys, and I was like, holy cow, man. So I totally understand why that was your favorite car. What was your favorite car?
Probably the 250, yeah. One time in the 250, at Havasu, my dad told me to go clear first lap on the big table, there was a hump, went to go clear the hump, and
bottomed out.
Yeah, I full sent it, and let's say that didn't end so well.
I remember standing right there on the berm.
It didn't feel good for the car?
Oh, it didn't.
No, the car held up great, but it's just my back and stuff. I was just oh.
Oh, dude, I hate hearing those hard landings on your back.
Yeah.
Oh, and going back to favorite places, John Lewis said Mammoth Moto. I don't know if you guys have ever been there, but Mammoth Motocross is such a sick place to go.
That whole place is so cool. We used to make a week trip out of it. We'd go trout fishing the first day, or mountain biking, golfing.
Dude, hitting the mountain bike trails is so sick, right?
So fun.
Yeah, that's fun. Have you been up to Big Bear or anything like that? When you should go with Caden because he goes up there.
I went up to Santa's Village once, and that's actually how I broke my shoulder going down.
Dude, how many bones have you broken, man?
Just my shoulder.
Oh, that's what you're talking about when you said break your arm?
Yeah.
Whew.
Right here. So yeah. I was mountain biking up there with Paxton Schindel on a double black diamond, and just washed out on a...
Oh, he's talking about double black diamonds are easy over here, and we're all adults, all of us adults are cringing, right? Oh my god.
Oh, my dad was going on it, so it wasn't too hard.
So if dad can go, you can wax him on it?
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Hey, I don't know about you, Squish, but I think we need to tell this dude to calm down and quit hurting himself. But you've broken a couple bones too, huh? No? Just sprained? Yeah, keep your fingers crossed, man. You don't want to break any bones.
Sprained my
Especially
ankle
on those
and
pit bikes.
Yeah, and compress my spine.
Oh, dude, don't do that, man.
That one didn't feel good.
Keep your guys' bodies as tuned up as possible.
Yeah.
All right, so a couple other goals or things that I want to talk about was what are your guys' goals in racing? You go first, Squish.
Person I look up to most, my dad, Bryce Menzies, Red Bull athlete, driving trophy trucks, just
He rips,
his whole
right?
Yeah, he's a very good driver.
You want to know a story about your dad?
Oh,
He built the first car that I ever raced in short course.
Oh, that's
pretty cool. It was a Rockstar Energy UTV Wolfpack car. I think it was a
That was
2013
a long
or
time
14.
ago.
Yeah, but I didn't get the car till I think 2015 or late 14 or something. So I only got to drive it a couple of times, but I got to race your dad. I think maybe once or twice. Maybe I think he waxed me though because I wasn't very good because I was like a beginner at the time. But it was fun to see because I got my crash course on how UTVs were because of your dad.
I probably shouldn't say anything about crashing. Yeah.
I think we've heard enough, man. I think we've heard enough. All right, but shout out to your dad, though, because he's doing a lot of good stuff for the industry. He did a lot of good stuff for me at the beginning of mine because it taught me a lot that I had that car and racing against him and stuff. So it's cool to see off-roading come full circle, right?
Yeah.
You know, so it means a lot to me to be able to say that to you sitting here and talking to him because I appreciate all the stuff that he did for me. What was the question? Oh, yeah. What are some of your goals in racing?
Oh, okay. I'd be up for anything like Dirtfish or Rallycross, Red Bull. If I like X Games, I feel like all that would be really cool to go do. So I'd be up for pretty much anything. I think.
I like that you're open to all that stuff and you want to just drive everything, right? But when it comes to being focused and understanding where you're going to go and having like the tunnel vision on it, I can tell you two things. I can tell you it'll be easier to get sponsors and it'll be easier to keep your focus and make that dream happen if you do say, I want to be a professional side-by-side racer and be the best one on the planet when I'm 22 years old. That's a much easier thing to just say than maybe I'll go to a rally car. Maybe I'll drive monster trucks. Maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'll do that. Whatever it is, like if you're laser focused, you can achieve those goals. And one thing that I always told everybody, and Caden Danbury started doing it too, is that the power of writing down words will blow your mind. If you write down a goal on a piece of paper, I forgot what the statistic is. It's like 96% or 98% more likely to happen than if you just think about it or if you read it in your phone. So if you go down and get a piece of paper, write down all your goals that you want to do, even if it's not racing. Maybe it's a goal for the next year. I want to be a championship side-by-side driver in the RS1 Pro Sport Amateur or whatever the class is. Write that down. Put it on your wall. Now write down, okay, in 5 years, I want to be, RS1 champion in the Texplex series, whatever it is. Write that down. Put it on your wall. It's almost 100% more chance that it's going to happen if you write it down.
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Go around the house and start writing it on every wall.
I know. Your mom's going to be pissed that I told you that because you're going to have sticky notes all over the place. But, hey, I'm serious, though. Like, I always do that. Like, I hate writing. Like, I hate school and I'm so anti everything like that. But if it comes to goals, I'll write down a whole sheet of paper and I'll just leave it there. And I'll put it on my desk so I see it every single day. And I'll go, you know what? I'm going to cross off one of these things once a week, once a month, and make sure that I achieve those things. And when you write it down, it usually happens. So it's pretty cool. So life hack.
Have to remember that one.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So we got one more question before we go into the rapid fire Q&A section. And I think this is a kind of a loaded question because I know that you guys are really focused on racing and you guys are already championship drivers, but what would be a plan that you guys have outside of racing in the next 4 or 5 years, 10 years?
Well, I want to finish school, go to college. I want to do all that stuff.
Do you know what you want to do in college?
I haven't quite figured that out yet.
I know you're a little young, so you don't have to answer that question.
Yeah, I've got a couple years to figure that out. So.
Yeah, and then there's plenty of time too. And what about you? You kind of want to have those same goals?
Yeah, going to college. Not sure really what I want to do there, but.
Yeah, it sounds like you like math. You probably end up being a mechanical engineer or something. Would be pretty
Possibly.
cool. Yeah, tell your dad to buy a Haas machine, and then you can just be the operator of that bad boy and make all kinds of cool stuff. That would be pretty sweet. All right. Well, before we get into the rapid fire Q&A section, I'd like to give you guys both the opportunity to thank your family and thank the people that support you because we're sitting in one of your guys' sponsors, right?
Oh, yeah. I would really like to thank Forward Parts for allowing us to be here right now. They're a huge sponsor of us right now. They built our truck that is amazing. Just really good. I love them. That's a really good company.
Yeah, it really is. And the amount that they give back to the community is fantastic. Like, we're sitting in their facility right now. All of their employees have left, and Ryan, their general manager, is staying while we have this podcast in the showroom, right? Like, he moved all this stuff out of the way for us. Like, it's really cool to see that they're giving back to their youth athletes and being able to support the off-road industry. So I definitely think it's cool as well. And Corey Simone is who handles your sponsorship program, and he's the one that put all this together for us. So it's pretty badass, huh?
Yeah, I really like how they support youth, and they're promoting the youth racing and trying to get it out there because we're the future of the sport. So
there we
I
go.
think that's
Another
pretty
confident
cool.
thought. I think Troy Adams would be stoked that you just said that right now. Well, keep telling us who else supports you.
I'd like to say that I'm also the youngest 4 Parts youth racer. So,
That's awesome, dude.
Yes, I'd like to thank Polaris Razor, Chupacabra Off-Road for actually being here and coming on the show.
Yep.
Gates Belts. Did I already say?
I just noticed that 4 Parts actually sells belts too.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty cool.
So Max's Tires, everybody that supports me.
Yeah, you guys have got some very, very good sponsors that support you. You can go ahead and say yours too, Chase.
Yeah, my mom and dad, grandpa, grumpy grandpa actually.
Yep.
Polaris Razor helps me a lot. Brett.
Your grandpa's actually really cool though.
Yeah, pretty cool guy. Dave from Action Sports Canopy has been with them for over 6 years now.
Does that mean you guys have the awesomest looking tents?
Oh yeah,
That's
pretty cool. Matches my Razor.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've always liked the colors that you use. Those are colors that I like as well.
Yeah. Gates Belts, DS Moto Customs. They're the one that does my wraps. Always
Cool.
turns out sick. Pit bikes, dirt bikes. Make sure to hit them up.
Dang, they're getting you dialed, huh?
Get your van rewrapped, hit them up. Jamie and Dylan.
Yep, right on.
Yep.
And obviously, you guys both said your families. It's really, really important to make us recognize the families because your guys' parents and everybody around, like your grandpa, puts in a lot of effort to get you guys to the track and to get you the vehicles that you guys can go win those races and championships with. So it's really cool to see all that stuff, man. Every time I have a show with you youngsters, I really appreciate. I mean, dude, the fact that your mom brought cupcakes with logos on them.
Yeah, that's sick.
And the world's largest burrito. I still don't understand how that was even possible to build.
That thing's pretty huge.
Maybe what we'll do is we'll do a little video. Or actually, I did a video before the show. I'll post it up on social media, and we could share it so everybody could see how massive that burrito is. It was like kind of intimidating to seriously. But it's cool because it shows how much they care about you and your racing.
Exactly, yeah.
All right. Are you guys ready for this rapid fire Q&A section?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So who wants to go first? Raise your hand.
I'll go, I guess.
All right. There we go. I thought both of you guys were going to raise your hand at the same time. Competitive spirit here. All right. Chase Mankin, hard shell tacos or soft shell tacos?
Hard shell.
How about you, Squish?
Hard shell.
You're going both hard shell?
Yeah.
Have you guys had tacos Dorados where they're like pan fried? Like they're so good.
Like the Dorado fish?
No, it's just like I don't know. It's oil fried tacos instead of like the Taco Bell ones. They're really good. Chicken or asada?
Asada.
Both of you guys are going asada?
Mm-hmm.
Dunes or the river?
Dunes.
That's tough. Probably Dunes, yeah.
You going Dunes? What if it was like scorching hot outside? You'd probably pick the river, huh?
Well,
I mean,
are you guys going to the Dunes for Halloween?
I want to, but no, we have a works race, Mesquite.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
No? Okay.
All right. Yeah, you're not going then. Well, I won't see you there, but good luck at the races. Three-wheeler or quad?
Three-wheeler.
Dude, they're called death machines for a reason, bro.
I'm a big fan guy. Or a big quad guy.
You're not a big quad guy?
Mm-mm.
Who are you? What are you going with, Chase?
Quad.
You're going quad? All right, well.
Other than the LT80s, those are pretty fun.
Those are pretty fun. My sister had one of those. Pizza rolls or jalapeno poppers?
Jalapeno poppers.
Yeah, jalapeno.
Dude, same. I like your guys' style. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Tea.
Yeah, same. Favorite movie?
Oh, gosh.
Um,
I'm going to have to go with one of the Fast and Furious. If Jamie and Dylan's in here, then yeah.
You're going with Fast and Furious?
Yeah.
Somebody answered the Fast and the Furious the other day. I forgot who it was, though.
It's something Thunder. It's a NASCAR movie.
Days of Thunder?
Days of Thunder, yeah.
Yeah, you're into that one? I forgot what he said. It was like Cole Trickle, and he's like, your tires will hold. Your tires will hold.
Got some special matched.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
If you could have any superpower, what would it be? You go first, Squish.
Flying.
You go flying?
Yeah.
A lot of racers pick flying. Others pick like being able to like teleport or like being invisible. What do you pick, Chase Mankin?
I was debating on like flying or like kind of like the Flash, like just super fast.
Yeah, you can just zoom anywhere you want.
Don't even need a race car. Just run.
Both you guys built for speed, dude. I can tell. Netflix or YouTube?
YouTube.
What are you going with, Squish?
Probably Netflix.
You're going Netflix? Why? Oh, because you're the F1 documentary? Is that why? Yeah. That show is sick, huh?
Me and Cruz love that show.
Yeah, that show is so good. Favorite snack? And don't pick Seth's favorite snack, hot Cheetos. You can't pick that, dude. He's already taken it.
I was going to say Cheez-Its.
Hey, so...
Cheez-Its are good.
You want to know a fun fact, though, or a funny story? I went to a burrito shop in Hemet the other day when we were coming back from a show, and we found a burrito and a taco that both have hot Cheetos, and I showed it to Seth. He's like, dude, that's so epic.
Sounds pretty good.
A hot Cheeto burrito.
Yeah, and a taco with hot Cheetos
Like
in
if
it.
you go to Taco Bell, they've got the Dorito tacos.
Yeah, but I feel like those are horrible, though, don't you?
Yeah,
that doesn't sound good. They're really good.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to try it one of these days. All right, so what's your guys' favorite snack, then?
Cheez-Its.
I said Cheez-Its, too. So.
Cheez-Its are pretty good. Oh, so what happens if you only have one box of Cheez-Its, then? Who's going to win in eating that?
Cut it in half.
Oh, sharing is caring right there. Good. All right, Supercross or motocross?
Motocross
I'm gonna have to go with
the like outdoor edition.
Yeah.
Supercross.
You're going Supercross too?
Yeah.
Well, it's coming back. They're going to have like 1 million races in Anaheim this year, so we should all go to Supercross and check it out this year in 2022.
Okay.
I'm down for that.
Ooh. What other form of racing would you like to try?
Ooh. I want to do F1.
You really want to do F1?
Start off in go-karts.
It looks like it would be so crazy. Well, I'm sure Troy Adams gets you that point, man.
Yeah.
With those go-karts.
I've gone there. I have a kart myself.
How do you doing it? Pretty good?
Well, I've never really raced it. I mean, I've raced I think Micro Swift or Mini Swift. They get me confused. I raced one of those. Got like third, I think.
I think like probably the off-road trucks that do like the car and stuff and.
Like the ones that Nasser,
Waha 500, Mint 400, all that stuff.
That's what you'd like to do. So you're a real dirt guy then, huh? All right. I don't know if I'm actually allowed to ask this question, but I will, since because you guys are both too young. But do you guys have a celebrity crush?
No.
No? Okay. We'll skip that one then. All right. Last question of the night. Chips and guacamole or French fries and ketchup?
Chips and guacamole. I'm not a big fan of ketchup.
Me neither.
Probably French fries and ketchup.
Oh, dude. We were like best friends until that last question, bro. Man, what the heck? Well, first and foremost, thank you very much, Chase Mankin, for coming on the show. You did a fantastic job tonight. You did really well, too, Squish. I really appreciate you coming on and supporting your best buddy here. Is there anything else that you would like to tell the audience or your family before I do the outro?
Again, I'd like to thank my parents for bringing me out here. I'd like to thank Four Reports for putting on this. I'd like to thank you for hosting us and letting us do this.
Dude, no problem, man. I'm glad that you were able to come and hang out.
I'd like to thank the Cars for actually even coming, doing this with us.
Thank you guys for having me.
My family, my grandma, and my aunt.
Thanks, Brian, for not being here and getting us that new RS1.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Brian for that new RS1.
Dude,
thanks for building that.
You're not going to be able to even sleep tonight, bro. Like,
I'm not. I'm going to have the jitters.
Yeah.
Dreaming about
You're going to need your mom to dance in front of you to calm you down. After seeing that bad boy. What about you, Squish? You got anything else that you want to say before we hit the road?
Just thank my whole family, my mom, my dad, grandpa, grandma, crazy grandma.
Yeah. Shout out to KMC Wheels.
Yeah, KMC Wheels.
All right.
My mom's side of the family, my cousin, my aunt, my uncle, my other grandpa, grandma, all big supporters.
Everybody, right?
Yeah.
Well, I would like to thank the world's giant burrito for feeding everybody today. Because I think that thing was pretty badass.
Did we measure it, see if it's taller than Chase?
Dude, it probably was. It was so tall, man.
Well, first of all, who's taller?
Yeah, who's taller out of you guys?
Stand up.
Here, let me put the camera on a different angle real quick so we can see you guys standing next to each other. Ooh, that's pretty close, man. I don't know. Chase Carr's hair is a little bit taller than you guys, or taller than yours. But you guys look pretty close. I think we got your heads cut off in that picture there. I'm going to just turn the camera over here to the audience, so please wave at the camera, everybody. And thank you guys very much for everything that you guys did. We really appreciate it. All right, well, we had a great show tonight. I really appreciate everybody chiming in. See, Jen Rexroth says nice hair when you took off your hat, man.
Hi, Auntie.
So thank you guys very much for tuning in tonight. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much to Troy Adams for coming on the show. Thank you very much to Nick Olson from Chupacabra Off-Road for coming, and Ronnie Renner. All of those people had very, very good insight. But I think the thing that we take away most from all of this is the support mechanisms that we have from our families, our loved ones, and everybody that supports this great sport that we call off-road racing. And these youth coming up and doing it their best, to the best of their abilities because of all the support they're getting. So thank you very, very much for everybody doing all that stuff and coming on board. We owe you guys one for being our loyal supporters and our audience members. So please head over to dirtlifeshow.com and click on the sponsor deals page. You can go get even tutelage on how to get sponsors. We have Alex Strehler from meetthesponsors.com. He gives you all of the roadmap to be able to go out and get new sponsors and get a rush on the or get ahead of the rush for the sponsorship season. And you can always visit all of our sponsors on that page too and get the discounts as well. Next week's show, we have Travis Pointer of Crash Addicts Off-Road. It's probably going to be a virtual show, but it's going to be really awesome. He's got so many stories. He's one of the OGs of side-by-side racing. He built some fantastic stuff. Probably going to talk a little bit about the Midwest and short course racing over there, so it'll be cool to talk with him. We really, really have to thank everybody at Four Wheel Parts, just like Chase said over here before. They're staying late, working with us, giving us the opportunity to have shows at their facilities. The guys over at Four Wheel Parts, Temecula, Ryan, and all of his crew here did a fantastic job getting us ready for the show. So like Chase said, thank you very much to everybody at Four Wheel Parts. Thank you to the Mankin family, especially Chris for bringing the world's largest burrito and the awesome cupcakes. We really appreciate it. Thank you to the Cars, and thank you to everybody that came to support. We really appreciate all you guys coming in and hanging out for the show. You guys are our lifeblood, man. We want to keep giving back. So slide into our DMs. Tell us what we can do better on the show next time. And we hope you guys have a good... Oh, I forgot to tell you. Caden McCachran is going to come on with Jagged X Off-Road on Wednesday for an Instagram Live for the Baja 400 that they just did. Like, that race looked like it was so crazy. Did you see how fast those trophy trucks and UTVs were going?
I didn't, but it sounds pretty cool.
Dude, it sounds gnarly. So I can't wait to get Caden's understanding of, like, what was going on in the race. So Wednesday, tune in at 5:30 and hang out with us on that show. It'll be pretty cool to get an industry insider. And Brandon Schuler is going to come on and join us with Jagged X Racing. So we really appreciate it. Thank you guys all for living your dirt life with us. This outro is probably going to sound like crap, but we love you. Good night.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to The Dirt Life Show.